How about now? Maybe we got some volume. Do we have volume? I think we got volume probably now. Jake, can you hear me? There we go. Yeah, I thought I was scheduling a stream, but it just started and like last time I had to do like three different streams. So I was like, you know what? Damn it, I'm sticking to this stream, and this is the stream. You guys just nobody's gonna watch this anyway, so it doesn't matter, you know? Hell yes. I'm about to drop the link to the stats in the video description. If you want to follow along there, I will also share it on my screen. Last time I live streamed, I was with my guy Eric Tice, and I lost my voice so hard afterwards. It was a terrible experience for me. I literally couldn't talk for like 3 days afterwards. Oh, that's right. You're at the venue, Jake. Yeah, you'll need to just throw me in your earbud or something. You know? Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I stopped talking. Sorry. I'll keep talking now, just for you, bud. Should be able to now view my additional scenes I've got going. Yeah, we got this is the stats we'll be tracking, and should be fun. I'm gonna go drop this link elsewhere and see if people are. I don't even know if people are into this kind of thing. I really don't think they will be, but it's like who cares, you know? It's just I'm gonna watch this game anyway. Thought it'd be kind of fun to just get the live stats together and kind of see what happens. Let me get a thumbnail on here too. Gosh, what kind of operation is this? This is just there we go. Save that. All right, let's blast this link out. Oh man, God, I'm so good at this. Oh, We got a second viewer. That can't be right. That can't be right. That can't be possible. That is not possible. I refuse to believe it. All right, let's get this link going. Instagram people, where are you at? Do, 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 do. Okay. Probably should tweet it out to you, I suppose. It would make me feel better. Just, I mean, just anybody here, anybody being here makes me feel good. Here is the link, which I started early on accident because I'm really, really good at this. Jake, what I mean, I'm just talking to a chat bar here, but what's been your on-site experience? Been a fun time there? Shit, it looks like it might rain here too. I might get that might not be good. Solid. Love to hear it, man. Love to hear it. Do, 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 do. Yeah, man, start of the season's always fun. You just like don't really know what to expect. I mean, my tier list, I put man, I think I had Columbus as like my number two team when we did our power rankings too. I just like they start off with a tough schedule, so you know there's still time for them to turn around. But it was a little bit of a shaky start for them for sure. Yeah, the rule changes are weird. Jake, this is the USTA campus, right? So is it the same one they did that last year? That all the planes flying over? I mean, the courts obviously are a whole thing. I'm sure we'll talk about the courts at some point, but yeah, woo. Yeah, I was probably the one overrating Columbus. That's why. I mean, I don't know what I was doing. On paper, though, like you know, they're a good team. They're a good team. Just hasn't really looked good. I mean, Andre and CJ will probably figure it out. You know. Let me see if I can pull up my power rankings I did to the at the start of the year. Actually, we'll get our yeah, here's our power ranking pod. If you guys have watched our power ranking pod with me and Tice and Zane and Caitlin Kerr, let me zoom in here. These were our power rankings coming in. Let me see if I'm actually sharing anything. Yeah, I think y'all can see this. Oh, Ben's here. Sweet. Yeah, this was my power rankings heading into the year. I started the stream early on accident, so we're I'm just chatting with Jake.
Jake's on?
Yeah,
Hey, Jake. What do we got? 6 people?
I mean, I'm just chatting with Jake.
Zoom with Jake.
I think I can get a second mic going here. Yeah. This is you. So you just clip this on.
Okay. And then is there a way to mute it? Or if I need to step away,
Just
put it
just just take it off. And yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to work anything. I have no clue what I'm doing. I think I'm sharing my screen right now, which is probably not what people want to see. Hey, let me put it on a screen that doesn't look crazy. Here we've got Ben from Real Clear Stats.
Oh, is this the video? Is that the camera there?
Yeah, that's the camera there.
Dogs, leave me alone for a minute.
We've got the dogs here. We've got yeah. What do you think of that name, Statty Pickles? Should I rebrand all my like podcast stuff to Statty Pickles? Like I feel like that could work, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I usually lean pretty hard into the stats, so I feel like it works. Yeah, Matt should be starting
You
here.
could have an alter ego, which
And
would be
I know.
Patty Spectacles, which is kind of similar. Bug spray.
Yeah, I think we've got Basil here. Yeah, you guys can see Basil. Hobie's here too. I thought Ben might be
I thought about it.
might be bringing Hugo, the wiener dog, but alas, you know, sometimes three dogs with two guys managing them can be a lot. So Ben is not drinking bug spray. He is applying it. It is pretty humid here. I'm hoping it doesn't rain because if it does, I mean, I don't know what we do. We just probably ruin all my stuff. So we'll just kind of cross our fingers for that. Um, yeah. So we are going to be. Ben has got somebody. One of his scores. The way Ben's company works basically is you've got an army of scores that you've trained with consistent methodology, and they usually watch the replays of matches, and then they'll track the stats. And you kind of package those up, and you have some MLP teams that are your clients, and you send them their data packages. They use it to help setting lineups. They use it just for scouting, general purposes like that.
Yeah, let me see. I don't know.
Especially for I mean, like during the draft, you know, I've seen the ranchers up there with all your data open.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what Ben does. He's got his army of statisticians that track the data, and we've got one offsite who's going to be logging the data live, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm also going to be
Okay,
logging the
so
data
Ben
live.
will also be logging the data live.
But yeah, mostly, yeah, they're taking the primary role. But but yeah, should be awesome. Is the stream up?
Yeah, stream's up. We're running. So I'll be sharing that on my screen. Obviously, I can't actually share the match, so you know, throw that up on your main screen, and I'll just kind of be yapping, and you know, I'm not gonna lose my voice this time, hopefully. Um, but you know, if it
I
happens,
might not talk as much
yeah,
as Maddie,
yeah,
but
you'll be
I
busy.
will.
Busy
I
statting,
will at
and
some
also
point.
as he's doing the stats, we'll kind of talk through what they mean, and I'll try not to distract him too much from so we get an accurate stat. But you know, there's a lot of stat stuff out there. I've seen not a lot, but there's some. I've seen some AI, but yours is all human doing it. And you think that's kind of important to like really get into like I think the biggest distinction your stat guys makes, in my opinion, is just what's an error when you're doing an error,
Yeah.
what's unforced and what's forced. And we were talking the other day, and you seem to think people are a little too liberal at assigning errors as unforced errors. Do you think more errors are forced than people probably realize? Is that
I think so because I think a lot of players and coaches are looking at it, the way I look at it, a ball that was a really good ball by my opponent, but I had the paddle there and I make that more often than I don't. That feels like an unforced error. But actually, when you're on the other side of that coin, you're feeling like, yeah, I put that in such a tough spot they couldn't get it back. So, anyway, you could have a different methodology, which is fine, but the important thing is that you're consistently applying it, which is really important. And AI, artificial intelligence needs real intelligence to imitate, and so we're
Mhm.
trying to lay the groundwork for that. Maybe AI will take over these kind of judgment calls at some point, maybe not. Humans are still used in every other sport, so I don't know why pickleball is going to be the special one that doesn't need humans.
I've seen PB Vision is one that's like for like amateur players, I guess, to put their stuff in. I've seen AI on that, but yeah, Ben is more of the oh man, we've got
I don't see the stream.
you don't see the stream?
Is it here?
Oh, you mean their stream? Sorry, they
Oh,
haven't started
sorry,
yet. I
their
thought you meant
stream.
our stream.
Okay,
So like
it's not on yet.
here's a quick example. Just looking at this is the Texas Ranchers versus the Atlanta Bouncers yesterday. So like some of the stats we'll be tracking. Hobie is, by the way, we've got the dogs out here, and Hobie is literally obsessed with tennis balls. So he's going to be barking if I'm not constantly throwing a tennis ball for him. And I don't even see a tennis ball right now. So
Oh my gosh.
Hobie,
I
you're
done
gonna have to
screaming
chill for a minute while I just kind of get things situated here. Hopefully the barking isn't too bad. But here's a look at some of the stats we're tracking.
for me, the best thing, if you can you you're zoomed in on purpose probably, right?
Yes.
Um, the most fun thing to watch develop live is the player impact plus flow, where you can see what
Oh, we've
they're
got both dogs barking now. So yeah, what Ben's talking about here is this stat is called Player Impact Plus. And it's basically just tracking, like, it's almost like a one and all stat. If you look at like a plus minus in basketball, or a PER if you're into advanced stats in basketball. Okay, what the hell? These dogs. I got to go find a tennis ball for them. But
hey, no.
Ben can do a quick explainer on
Well,
Player
yeah,
Impact Plus while I
yeah.
go find a tennis
So
ball.
one of the cool things about player impact, so it's basically we're looking at the end of each rally, and
Go get a ball.
you know, the way matches are scored, you get a point for winning the rally if you're serving. At the end of the match, side outs, points won while returning are always a tie. So traditional scoring ignores them as far as points go, but they actually still matter just as much because you can't score unless you have a side out. So we value them equally as if you're getting a point on the scoreboard or not. Each rally is contributing to your score on the scoreboard equally. So if you look at player impact plus, which is cool about the flow, if you take the midpoint between each team, so for Glosman Demuzio here, it'd be like -1 maybe, -0.2. And the average for the other two players, Pisnik, Tuiamatoa, it would be like 3.5. That should be about the gap in the score at the end of the match generally. Um, so there's a relationship between the final score and those and player impact plus, especially in rally scoring, it's very obvious, but in traditional it can be a little veiled. But yeah, just
Cool.
valuing players' performance in terms of the rally end. And someone might hit some great shots, but if they get returned and the rally continues, the score never cares about what that happened, the fact that that happened. We track it and all kinds of other stats, but as far as what's impacting the scoreboard, that's what we're looking at on that chart.
So as we get ready to start the match here, hopefully the dogs are settled in. Let me know too. I do anticipate having the audio randomly cut out at some point. So just spam the chat if that happens. We do have a question from Seth. Why shouldn't we just categorize every point ending action as a winner or non-winner?
Uh, there's just so much more to it because um, if someone smashes a ball at my paddle and you're going to call that a non-winner because I'm the one that made the error, well, that
Mm-hmm.
you're not kind of crediting the real reason that rally ended. So we're
Mm-hmm.
looking at the rally end that, you know, um, the shot before the forced error, is considered an error forced. So you get plus 0.75 for that. And uh, and we also are looking at the shot before the shot before. So we're looking at opportunities created, opportunities yielded. So we have a separate chart for
Yeah,
that.
every single shot that's ever been hit in Major League Pickleball since like 2022, Ben has tracked. You have like 4 million.
We have a lot of
Yeah.
people. We have a lot of score.
So it's not just about the shot before the winner. It's every single shot. Um, we'll get into all this here once we go in here. Who am I rooting for today? Hey Shay asks. I will be rooting for the Texas Ranchers. Believe it or not. If anybody here is somehow new to the channel, do I even have any viewers? Who all is here right now? I can't even tell. I'm just gonna assume I have viewers. Trust the process. Um, but yeah, my dad is one of the original co-founding owners. I know everybody drink because Maddie mentioned his dad. Anytime I name drop somebody, yeah, okay, whatever. Um, he's one of the original founding owners of the Texas Ranchers since 2021. He owns and operates the Austin Pickle Ranch here in Austin, Texas. That's where the name Ranchers came from. So big Ranchers guy. We'll just kind of leave it at that. Leave it at that. And the Sliders is an interesting team. Andre Diascu, of course, and CJ Klinger, kind of the real highlight of that team. I think. I mean, Paris and Leigh are great as well, but like I feel like the men's team needs to be the backbone of that, like the
Yeah,
way they're set up, and it hasn't been so far. They're 1-2. They beat Ben and Colin. They lost their first two matches against New Jersey, which they were up 9-5 before
I feel like
Will
they're going to get
Dana.
up for
Yeah,
this one. I feel like they're going to get up for this one. It should. I hope we see a great match.
yeah. I mean, if they hadn't managed to get that win yesterday against the Hogs, the Carolina Hogs, It would have been under a lot of pressure today.
AKWG.
Yeah. Are we in a grandstand or championship court? Do you know?
I heard a rumor we're grandstand,
Grandstand? Okay.
but I don't see any stream yet.
Doesn't seem like it started yet. Yeah, upcoming.
Yeah, we just started this early because we're such good live stream vampers.
Yeah.
So um, everyone's just like, "Could you just shut up until the game starts?"
Yeah.
Probably. I'm secured.
We had man, we had almost 7 viewers for a minute there. How about that? So all that vamping we did, people are going to need to hear it again because nobody was here for it. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, we've got Hobie the dog crying again. He jumped in the pool a second ago. Classic.
And he shook all over our
Classic. Yes, he
setup.
did
Yeah,
shake.
it was not thrilled with that. That's not appropriate behavior, Kobe. Yeah.
Yeah,
If I knew that was going to be this chaotic, Hugo might actually calm them down.
he might have
It might
actually.
have been good.
It's almost like adding a third dog into the mix. Like you almost need to be outnumbered. Rangers start off strong, 2 wins in 2 matches, beating the Bouncers 4-0 yesterday, and then got, I believe, a 3-1 win over the Brooklyn pickleball team, formerly known as DC pickleball team.
Martinez, Vic, and Glosman, had the lead in that
Hmm.
mixed match,
Yeah,
and I thought Alshon and Etta took did a really good job, staying with that and battling to get that win, even though they felt like probably they were the better team, whether they won that or not.
yeah.
At the end of
The,
the match.
the the third mixed match you can see here, the Bouncers did have a lead in that before Texas. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Texas came on strong late and got it done. Good for them.
Um, Click this.
Yeah, I'll just make it go away. Yeah, perfect. That's for what we're tracking today.
Yeah, we don't know who's going to
Got it.
serve first or what even is going to be out. So that's always the scramble at the beginning of scoring is like getting that set up.
What's up, guy? Hey, we got Dinks over 9,000. Is that a Dragon Ball Z thing? Like his power level's over 9,000? I feel like it might be. Yeah, what's up? Thanks for joining. We're just gonna kind of be hanging out and chatting during this match. We'll see if they get the stream going here in a second. Otherwise, I don't know what we
And
can
we may need
do.
to throw tennis balls occasionally just
Yeah.
to keep the dogs from
Uh,
having a conniption
it
fit.
is 10 o'clock, so we'll see. Oh, dude, it was a Dragon Ball Z reference. Love it. How about the Phoenix Flames? I'm doing a little challenge. I've got some podcasters, writers, etc. I got like 13 people making picks, 2 matches a day. Every single one of them, every single so-called expert, thought that Orlando would win, and sure enough, Orlando did win. But Phoenix made it interesting for sure.
Yeah.
Took it to a Dream Breaker. Had the lead in the Dream Breaker late until a 4-0 set. Lacey Schneeman versus Jesse Irvin kind of turned the tide in that one.
Sweet. I'll have to check that one out. I haven't
Yeah.
seen that one.
Eric Tice, shout out to him. He's not in the chat. He might tune in later, but he is tracking every single Dream Breaker. He's posting like little box scores about it, and it's just that's like been my number one thing on my MLP wish list for so long is give me a box score for every little Dream Breaker so I can go and see like who actually won what line, what was like the actual narrative of the Dream Breaker.
Yeah, we'll score that. We have that also if we go to a Dream Breaker, we'll score that. But we haven't put as much emphasis on Dream Breakers just
Mhm.
because the doubles data is so important.
What's the latest number on like last year Dream Breakers? What percentage of the times do we get a Dream Breaker?
I think it was about. I don't know.
Oh, we're live too. I think the stream is now live
I
too.
see it. Yep.
Okay. 0-0. We've got the Ranchers versus the Columbus Sliders. MLP has moved to implicit crowdsourcing for all their stats and data collection. It's kind of the case. I mean, you've talked with them. Ben's, I think Ben on their stream before. Some of his stats have made it on there before, but I think it'd be cool if they brought him or someone else in at a more full-time basis to, just give us this kind of data. So I'm gonna flip over.
Well, give us a minute to get everything set up because we only just found out where the players are, so we're tracking, and then we'll fix it between rallies.
Yeah, normally they don't stat these live, so it's a little extra pressure on Ben and them. But another thing that's interesting with MLP this year is they've gone to women's doubles always being first. It used to be one of the selections that you got to make was you want to send out your men or your women first. Well, they've decided we're just going to send out our women first every time, which I mean takes away a strategic element of getting to choose who goes first. But like, I don't really think that matters. So I have no issue with this change. Like, is it really going to make a difference? Sending out your men or women first. I couldn't imagine that being like a game changer. Um, yeah, here we are on the orange court. We've got Hina and Etta versus Leah Jansen and Paris Todd. I mean, I would have to say Texas probably favored in this lineup.
But
Um,
top talent.
but this is probably two of the better women's doubles team, at least two of the top like six-ish or so, five-ish.
Yeah,
There's kind of haves and have-nots in MLP this year, and I think both of these teams are firmly in the haves camp. Yeah,
sorry. Well, have the
no,
names in there 1 second.
no worries.
Nice.
Value Robot is in the chat too. He was the legend who was breaking all the trades or all the draft selection in the chat before myself and Eric Tice were during our last live stream. Even though Tice was in the live draft room and um, you know, somehow wasn't able to keep on top of that. That's pretty funny. That was a fun time. That's the first time doing a stream. This is my second time trying it, so we're just kind of seeing how it goes. Uh, if you're into this kind of thing, let me know. I mean, I think it's kind of fun to do this, just kind of chat.
I think we've got it now. Are we good in there now?
Yeah, I think we probably are.
Might
Let's
have to
see.
refresh it.
No, we've got stats. Yeah, so
A little early to.
we'd be jumping to any conclusions, but we have already had a 24 hit rally and a 27 hit rally, so that's fun. Right, Ross, and I'll just kind of like do a quick walkthrough of like all the stats we can track. And anybody in the comments, if you see anything that you want more info on, you want me to zoom in on, you don't know what it means, just let me know and I'll do my best to explain it. And if I can't explain it, I've got the guy right here, so he can probably explain just about everything. We are 1-1 now. First tab of this one is just kind of got your shot accuracy, so it'll be tracking the total hits. And right now, Hina Pisnik is seeing
Almost got to the kitchen there, but not quite.
she's seeing 73% of all the balls come to her.
Interesting.
The accuracy is basically just your total hits is just less errors divided by your total hits. So 41 over 43 right now for Tina gives us her accuracy of 95%. Um, Other things we track here, again, we talked about this a second ago, but I don't think anybody was even on yet, is this Player Impact Plus. Player Impact Plus is just kind of the catch-all stat. Oops. Is a catch-all stat. You get +1 for hitting a winner, plus 0.75 for forcing your opponent to commit an error, minus 0.25 if you are forced to commit an error, and -1 if you commit an unforced error. So it's just at a glance seeing who is impacting the match positively, who's impacting it negatively. And it's really fun to watch these charts move over time and kind of just see like, oh wow, like this player came on really strong down the stretch and was able to, kind of turn the tide of the game.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's just kind of a metric of how much impact are you having on the match, uh, based on rally end, which is what goes to the scoreboard actually.
And Value in the chat says top 3 wish list is just to have a rally counter for rallies. Once they get above 20 or 25, how cool would that be? Just like have a counter constantly ticking up so you can like see when you get in those really long legendary rallies. Even like a rally timer too would be kind of fun. Just be able to see like, wow, like when J-Dub and CJ against whoever they were playing, they had a crazy long rally at the PPA a few weeks ago. Just yeah, I mean, I think that would be awesome. Um, I'm trying to juggle a lot of things here too. I'm trying to also watch the match. I'm trying to talk about it and fill the dead air. I'm trying to keep an eye on the stats and the chat. So, uh, you know, you guys to drop your insights too in the chat. Let me know what you're seeing. As I've actually only managed to look down at my phone to watch about one rally so far. And,
Oh,
uh,
oh wow! You're not,
so
oh darn!
so
I'm getting to watch it.
yeah, he's watching more than me. I'm juggling a lot. Yeah, that's kind of the rundown of what our main stats here. Also, like another thing too, this is just awesome stuff to track. We've got speed ups and firefight initiations that would track, and you can see the success rate. The difference here is speed ups might include errors that you hit into the net, whereas the firefight initiations are kind of filtering those out. These are only firefights that actually kind of got off the ground. So if you hit a speed up into the net, that might show up in a failure here, but it wouldn't come up over here on the firefight initiations. Additionally, we can see who's starting the firefights, who's being the more aggressive player. We can see who is being targeted. So right now, Tina Pisnik has been targeted for 3 firefights. So her 3 counters, they've lost 2 of those rallies, and they're able to reset 1 of those. Also, we've got it aggregated at the team level here: team initiations, counters, speed ups. Get really into the weeds here with firefight details. We can see how many hits is a player getting before they are starting firefights. So you can see Leia Jansen, every 10 times that she touches the ball, she is initiating a firefight, whereas all the other players aren't really being nearly that aggressive. We've also got third shot data in here. So every single third shot is going to either Tina Pisnik for the Ranchers or to Paris Todd for the Sliders. You can see the split too in the drops and the drives. We've got kitchen contention data, total rallies. Kitchen rallies are rallies where all 4 players reach the kitchen line. So the important things to see here is how often are you getting to the kitchen, and then that'd be your kitchen arrival, and then how often are you actually winning once you get there. So right now the Sliders have had 6 attempts to get to the kitchen. They made it there 5 times, but the Ranchers have been to this point slightly more successful. Can you guys hear these dogs?
Good question.
Can you guys hear these dogs?
Should we care?
Or is it just bugging me?
I'll throw a ball.
We don't have a stat on Ryan DeWigin's calves, but I'm sure they are looking great today. Value in the chat with the shout out to Ryan's lower body. Good for you. Good for him. The reset, when that person's speed up got reset. So what in the firefight data, what we were seeing there is kind of you get that gray bar, that reset, if you kind of get it back to neutral. So like if a firefight is started, if the team that started the firefight wins that firefight, then they get kind of credit for the win there. And if it kind of gets back to neutral, maybe they start dinking again, that's when it kind of gets counted as a reset. The dogs, we'll get them on camera here in a minute. We'll get those dogs on camera here in a minute.
Tina's got a few speed up errors now. Probably you'll see if you look. I like her being aggressive, though. I think it's the right call.
Just kind of running through the last few stats. We have 3rd, 4th, and 5th shot data. We've got, again, more 3rd shot detail. Opportunities. This is kind of getting to what we were talking about earlier, the shot before the rally ending shots. So this might be an opportunity created. Would mean maybe I hit the ball to my opponent. I force a pop-up, and then my partner gets a put away. I created an opportunity. My opponent yielded an opportunity, and then my partner hit a winner. So that's how these kind of go in. It helps you see, maybe if it won't show up necessarily as like an error. If I hit just an egregious pop-up, which I do quite frequently, as Ben can attest to, that doesn't necessarily show up as an error, but it would show up as I've yielded an opportunity. I have hit such a terrible pop-up that my opponent has hit a winner off of it.
If they make the winner, though.
Yeah.
So many times they don't make the winner.
That is true.
Which is why we don't want to count it as an error necessarily, because these players can recover from the worst positions.
And then another interesting one, we'll definitely be keeping an eye on this when it comes to the men's game, especially after seeing how Christian and Eric were striking the ball on their serves. We will be tracking the serves, how many points you get off your serves, what percentage getting it in. And then lastly, we've got game stats. This is just kind of, Roby, stop barking, dude.
I got it. You keep going. I got it. Don't worry. I got it.
Oh, there we go. Oh, my goodness.
I was about to have a break in a minute.
You can see the more rallies that are won by returners, the longer and grindier a match will be, the longer it will take. If this was still rally scoring, it doesn't really matter as much because we're still always ticking closer to the final. But with side out scoring, if returners are winning more rallies, we're going to have a longer game, longer match. And then again here, we can just see the distribution of who is getting the touches per rally. So we are at 3-3-1 now. I've probably only watched about 1 rally.
But hey, you don't need to because you have the stats. You have
yeah,
data, right?
But I have the stats. Who needs to actually watch the games when you could just be, a spreadsheet merchant right here? And
Yeah, I brought this up just to have it, if
Oh,
you want
okay, yeah,
to have a glance here, you
perfect.
know where to jump to. This is our little dashboard here. So
Eric Tice in the chat. Eric, we were just talking. I was just reminiscing about our missed adventures doing our draft live stream, which we somehow got up to like 150 viewers. That was an all-time high for the channel. My previous record was like 20 people, so that was certainly fun. It's kind of crazy that they didn't live stream that. They didn't have like a draft show. I still can't believe they didn't put on their own MLP draft show, and they just were like, we'll just post the results live. And so like Eric and I got that going. It was a ton of fun. I think we did okay. I did lose my voice like literally for 3 days. I couldn't talk afterwards. After that, it was already kind of iffy going in, and yeah. So like I said, I'm actually struggling to watch the game a little bit here. So you guys, let me know what y'all are seeing,
we can also put the game on here if you
and
prefer.
you know if there's any stats we need to be diving in. If we need to see any real clarity on any of these real clear stats, yeah, we can do it. We can do it. Y'all send this video to your any of your super nerdy pickleball friends. Get them in here. Let's get this thing. Let's get this thing up to double digit views. Let's see if we can't make that happen. That would
Well,
be magic.
hopefully it's the first of more than one.
Take a quick sip of coffee here, and let's get Basil. Let's get Basil on the camera here for a second. Can you come up, Basil?
Hey Maddie, do you know, did Columbus play straight up yesterday or so far this weekend?
You know, I don't know. I know for the men they were stacking
Someone in the
obviously
chat
with
probably
the
knows.
lefty.
I'm just kind of
Hey
curious. I
Eric
love it.
or hey Shay, Columbus women, have they been stacking, playing straight up? Actually, I think they had Paris on the left yesterday, but the day before they had,
Stack.
I want to say they had Leia on the left, but I could be mistaken there. It's definitely a new wrinkle that is back to
Oh, they're
MLP
stacking now.
with side out
Mhm.
scoring, you know. Columbus has been playing straight up, Eric says.
Not now.
Not now.
That's an interesting one. That's not a firefight because it was actually an overhead. It was about above the shoulder, at or above the shoulder. So
So what Ben's saying here is when we're tracking these firefight initiations, if you are hitting it like an overhead smash, which is my specialty, as you might have known if you've ever seen me play, it does not count as a firefight. Firefights have to be initiated. Anything
some
speed up,
firefights, yeah.
yeah.
Well, the speed up at least. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's an overhead. Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh my gosh.
if there's any stats we're wanting to zoom in on, let me know. I'm kind of just going to leave it here on this player impact plus flow for a little bit.
All right, side end change. All right.
And yeah, we're at the end change. Woo, okay. I can maybe catch my breath here for a second. Dinks over 9,000 is really enjoying the dashboard you put together. So kudos to Ben for that.
Thank you. Yeah.
So yeah, he's saying I should probably actually just watch and then dive into his stat. That might be a good idea. That might be a good idea.
We could just have, you know, like
Yeah,
this up and then we don't have to necessarily
yeah.
talk the whole time. I don't know.
I think I'm gonna
What do you
start
think?
doing that. I just kind of wanted to do a run through of the entire dash. So now that I've done that, of course, you know, as new people come in, they won't have seen that. So maybe I'll do another one at the start of the next game. But yeah, I'm going to try to actually, for the last half of this game, watch a little bit more of the game, give some actual insights to what's going on, and then maybe at the end,
Do you want me to put it on here or do you like this here?
I think this kind of works.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think it would be cool at some point to show when we're live
Yes.
statting, show this side,
Yeah.
this in
I'm
view.
going to do that while we're on a commercial break here. What we've got here is like actually tracking just, you know, the rally results. So like real quickly, just at a glance, when Ben sends me this like file sometimes for like a specific game, I'm like, hey, did you stat this game? If I'm going to pull clips, I'll just go in here and be like, okay, look, I know that like Edda hit a winner here. I can see Paris Todd hit a winner here. I can see who was hitting unforced errors. I can see when there were firefights. So I'll kind of like use this. Plus, I can go and see like how long the rallies were. If there are any really long rallies I want to go look at. Honestly, usually I don't want to go look at those because they're kind of boring. If there's a lot of dinking, depends on the rally, I guess. But yeah, this is another kind of cool little thing here. So you
Yeah.
can,
So the rally ending firefights show up in the middle and you can see who started it, who was targeted, who won. And then you can also see how many other firefights were reset in the right hand column, how many
there
firefight
we
hits,
go.
stuff
So
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. So Ben will end up sending me a lot of these, and sometimes I'll use them in my YouTube content. So very cool stuff. Always fun to see. We've even statted if you're into that kind of thing. We've statted our own games, just with us and our buddies. We also one time had Jack Monroe join the channel. played with us, partnering up with a 3-5 against 2 3-5s, and it was exactly as you expected. You know, it was a lot of fun though.
It was
Um,
really cool just to see how it was so much his accuracy
yes,
that just tore us to shreds. You know, it wasn't really power. It was just he knew where to put the ball and he could put it there with such consistency. So these players are incredible what they can do.
yeah, that was a lot of fun. Okay, and the match is back on, and I haven't even been watching it, so I'm gonna actually watch the match now a little bit. I think it's a nice put away there. I don't know how synced up I am with our viewers' feeds, but yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that's not on the dashboard too. Like we track off the bounce versus aerial attack. So these are some of the deeper details
Do
behind
you
these teams and players.
do you track? Eric is asking if you track breakdowns of, like, when Paris on the left, when Leo's on the left. Do you like bifurcate by that? That'd be.
We can do that. We have to do a little bit of work when
Hmm.
we built those kind of analyses for the
Hmm.
Orlando Squeeze. We did a lot of that to help them decide to put Diasco on the right in the finals in
Yeah,
23.
Ben was the hidden secret weapon for the Orlando Squeeze run of 2023 season two. They were one of your teams you were giving data to back then. I know Zane's big into this data too. You've done
Hmm.
a lot of work with him on this. It's kind of cool to see people embracing this data. Don't throw the ball for Hobie, because we've got these dogs. They're really into chasing the ball. Hey there, Basil buddy. So if the Ranchers lose this one, they're kind of in a tough spot too. You gotta imagine. Women's doubles and men's doubles are pretty balanced. They're a pretty balanced team, I'd say.
Yeah.
But I feel like women's usually puts them in a really strong position, especially just, we haven't seen Eric and Christian play all that much, so we don't really know.
No, but I feel really confident about them. I love they're
Yeah.
putting Alshon on the right.
Hmm.
Um, that seems really smart. Eric's been so aggressive. What I was impressed about him all last year is one of the most accurate but offensive, just constantly being offensive and trying to create, but he doesn't make errors. And like he and Bellamy, it seemed like at the beginning of the year last year, they were playing the same way, but actually he was making a lot more errors. So Bellamy was.
They play Tina on the left a lot. What do we think of that? I always kind of thought Tina on the right just like feels more natural, but they end up going with this a lot, especially even last year in rally scoring. Oh yeah, good catch there from Value. Leia Jansen wearing the Marcela Honez jersey. Maybe she forgot to pack her blue. The Sliders, they've got their ketchup red uniforms. They've got their White Castle whites, and now they've got their I don't know. I can't think of anything that would make a blue food joke. Anyway, yeah, they've
Eric's
got a
playing well
few
here.
few different looks. Yeah, just looking at the player impact flow, Paris
Just
is
having
leading the way.
successful aggression without the errors. So that'll do it for you.
Hi, buddy.
Good reset there.
Yes, Eric was quick to point out the mismatching uniforms yesterday. We had a black jersey and a white jersey on the same team. It's like, come on. I know there was like a lot was made about, like, whenever I did some work for the APP, they would try their best to get these players to match and, like, just wear the same color as
Oh,
your partner. It looks so nice on the stream, and it's one thing in the PPA or APP to not match, but on Major League Pickleball, I mean, the least you could do is just wear your freaking uniform. Come on, son. Do we need to do a uniform tier list? My logo tier list video did just absolutely terrible. Like 200 people watched it. It was like the worst video I ever posted, but I did have a lot of fun with it, and I think it was a fun concept. But it didn't do that well on the algorithm. Maybe I just had a crappy thumbnail or title. You never know with these things. But I had fun with it. Maybe getting some uniform. Maybe just like a top five list. It doesn't
oh,
need to be a whole video.
I guess we gave them an extra point. So uh, we just had a anyway.
Anyway,
We'll fix that in a bit. But
yeah. So there we go. I should probably talk about the game now it's over instead of just talking about random stuff. Match is over. Etta Tuinatoa, 71 touches to Tina Pisnik's 156, and she had 12 errors in those 71 touches. 83% accuracy rate is about as low as you'll see it
It's really surprising.
That that
She's
is
out of sorts a little bit.
that is shocking. That jumps out immediately. Like
Oh, wait. Yeah.
anything below 90 is really like not. Oh, it's not over. Yeah, are we not over yet?
No, sorry, it's not
Okay,
over.
we're not over. I didn't think we were over yet. I just got
Yeah.
confused, guys. I got confused. I got confused. Ben just messed up the stats and said it was 9-3. Said it was 12
I
to
think I
three.
threw the ball for the dogs too much.
Oh, I'm really good at this. Oh, I'm so good at this. Yeah, the match isn't over yet. It just went to commercial, and I saw the stats said 12 to 3, so I thought it was over. I was like, damn, I must have been really talking if I missed the entire game ending. But point does still stand. 82% accuracy is not what you want to see. We got both players for Texas down here in the negative zone of our player impact plus flow as well.
Yeah, the data is right, but we just missed a
Yeah,
side out or something, so we'll fix that and the score will fall into place really
it
quickly.
is 10 to 3 now though. Able to fend
Yes,
off one game point,
huge.
huge. I mean, like think about it. Like a lot's being made over side out versus rally, and like if there's more blowouts and stuff, that I really do want to dive into that data.
Apparently, there's a technical on Paris. I think that might mess
Oh,
us up,
okay, yeah,
or some kind of a. What she do? What deal was it? Hindrance? Does someone in the chat know what happened?
yeah. What happened there, chat?
We're not really able to
They probably
listen
don't
to it
know
very
either because they
much.
were listening to me ramble
Yeah.
instead of
Oh,
actually listening to what's actually happening. And I said the game was over, which was wrong. So, hey, there's a nice point there. Oh. Ooh, nice little breeze. 4:10-2 is what I'm looking at. 4:10-1 rather. It is go time. Now or never. Man, Edda just
oh, that
leaves
was a
that one up
that was a
high. Great reset from
great
Tina
reset.
though. What's the call there? They called it out. Looks like we're gonna get a challenge on that one though.
They're calling it out.
I think that's what happened. Again, maybe I
It
should have
looked
the
like she
volume
hit
on.
it, but
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Should
I've
have
got
set
it
up
in my
the
ear at
times.
least. I do have
Yeah.
it in my ear. Do you want it
Okay.
in your ear?
No, no, I'll
I
just
can give you.
I
I
got
can give
enough
you.
going on.
I can give you a greasy, waxy ear pod if you want.
Hi Basil. That feels pretty heavily skewed though in terms of like touches. You don't normally see it like that. Uh like 68% of the touches going to Tina. I feel like maybe in mixed you see that a little bit more, but not so much. And
To see. Oh yeah,
yeah, that's
it
that's
is. They're definitely targeting her for sure.
hmm
She's ramped up the game a little bit of late. It's keeping a minute. Mm.
What are we seeing here too? So Leia does this little two-handed backhand dink.
Yep.
It looked like Edda tried to play it, but Tina called it out. So maybe they're arguing a little bit of procedure.
Oh yeah, I think it was out.
It was out, and I think she played it off the bounce, and it looks like her hand might have been pointing up in the back. So I think that's fair game. I think that's fair.
All right, we updated that with I updated it as an unforced error by Leia
Yeah.
because I think that's the right call. Let's see. Um, Side out for technical on Varus. Let me try to fix that. That's probably our issue.
How did she get a technical?
I don't know.
Yeah, this stream. Next time we're gonna get an extra person
That
here.
was the issue. Now the score is correct.
Okay, the score is
'Cause-
correct now.
yeah, because
Perfect.
it reversed the outcome of the rally, which wasn't that
Oh,
obvious to us. So it's amazing. Yeah, one little shift like that, and the score is so different and traditional.
as we're waiting for this challenge to get settled, it does look like Columbus is being the more aggressive team, initiating a lot more firefights. Texas is doing fine when they do get the firefights started. It's just Columbus being a lot more aggressive. Uh, Texas only made it to the kitchen on 9 of 16 attempts so far.
Here you go.
Yeah, there we go. or rather on 10 of 17. Uh,
Yeah, what are you seeing there?
Texas is winning the rallies at the kitchen. They're just not getting there enough.
Yep, that's the issue.
Yeah.
Got to get to the kitchen. I love that though. That's something you can fix. You know, I
Hmm.
mean, credit to the sliders for making it tough on them, but they can fix that if they want to. So then, if they fix it, they'll come back. They probably fix it to some degree.
5-10-2 is what I'm seeing. Oh, that looked like another unforced
Yep,
error there
unforced
for
error
Paris
from
Todd.
Paris.
Texas creeping back into it. Maybe getting a little bit of scoreboard pressure here. I feel like that's a word I've heard people using a lot lately, just like scoreboard pressure, you know? You talk about the difference between side out and rally too, especially. And that looked like another unforced error. Or is that right with the kind of earning
It
him?
was.
Yeah. Back to back unforced errors for the slider women, and we're creeping up there now.
Yeah, I think we have it fixed now.
I'm gonna do a whole podcast video too. Hopefully get it out next week. Just we'll do a whole section on just airing my grievances and just being the biggest complaining person on the planet of just like, how is it so hard to update the scoreboard? How is it so hard to have matching
Yeah,
uniforms? How is it like, just all the stuff we love to complain about on the internet. I want to do a whole deep dive. Probably do a little mailbag too for that. I think that'd be kind of fun. Man, good defense
yeah,
there from the
it's
sliders,
huge.
keeping this rally going. That's an example of like, would have been an opportunity yielded had they put it away, and they do eventually get to put it away. All of a sudden here, are we going to see a timeout here from the sliders? I mean,
Lots of side switching in this
yeah.
match. It's testing our testing us, but
Ref called a distraction at 7-3-1. Interesting.
yeah,
An
okay.
aggressive split step, perhaps. Who knows? Yeah. What do we think of this Matt Damon commercial, by the way, guys? Looking at our game flow, man, you can see this is all on one side out. All this, is this what, five? I mean, it was 10-3. And now they've got it up
Yeah,
to 8. So it's 3-10, and they've got it up to 8-10 and
yeah.
one
If you
single
scroll
side
down,
out. Yeah.
the score is on the player impact flow, and it
Oh,
lines up
gotcha. Yeah.
to there. So yeah,
And I mean,
yeah, it was all.
here's where we can see in the player impact flow. Paris was just playing incredibly lights out, and as we talked about, Tina and Ed were both struggling a little bit, and just you kind of see everything kind of converging back together as this match has gotten tight all of a sudden.
Well, it could also it's a little bit of long term math. I think
Hmm.
Paris and Leia are keeping them from getting to the kitchen, and that aggression they're starting. You know, they were hitting at a really high accuracy rate at being aggressive on their when they're returning, and now they've made a few errors in those
Hmm.
scenarios, and it kind of evens out. But yeah, they almost had the match just on playing really well and while returning.
How about that? Some real clear stats, insights. Teams pay good money for that kind of insight. All right, big moments here. Man, play is doing good to keep this one in play. They're not going down easy in any of these. Like it's just the one more ball of it. Works at every level. Just one more ball.
But once again, the Ranchers get in and back the return team off the kitchen line. That's impressive. So
Hmm.
whatever they're doing, they've kind of by putting Ed on the left now. I think they've kind
I
of
like Ed on the left more. I really
settled up
do.
that issue. Yeah,
I might talk to Ryan about that. Ryan loves when I send him unsolicited coaching advice. He's like, "Shut the fuck up, man." Ryan DeWigen, the GM of the Texas Rangers, did text me the other day. He said, "Maddie, what the hell? You're allowed to be a homer for a team that's actually good." So he thinks I'm being too anti-homer.
34 hits that rally. Was that
34
the
hit
longest
rally.
one?
I think that was
Second
the
longest.
second longest rally of the day.
Probably
And
one of
man,
the
9
longest
10
firefights.
2.
Firefight hits in a rally.
We've got a comeback brewing here.
Love it.
And it's an all natural comeback. There is no
Oh
freeze
no,
assist. Oh,
another unforced error.
another unforced. Man, unforced errors just coming in strong down the stretch. That is 7 points on this service run. On this two, I mean that
That's wild.
that is wild.
Yeah.
That is pickleball. Game of runs.
And you can see the gap in the player impact flow. You can see
Yeah,
that gap in the middle where they had and then the players have closed that gap on both from
for
both
sure.
directions. It's pretty cool to see. I also remember we were working with the ranchers a bit last year, and that was one of the big things, messages to Etta and Tina is get to the kitchen, especially against DC pickleball team in
Hmm.
playoffs. If they get to the kitchen, they're just the better team. They were like second or third at kitchen rallies all last year.
How about that? That is interesting. There we go. There we go, Etta. I'm not even gonna pretend to not be a homer, otherwise Ryan will get on my ass again.
Speed up
Uh,
winner there.
hey Shay in the chat, did you guys know that Dylan Frazier is really good at pickleball? Should I order a Volair paddle? I think you should. I bet you can get a freebie. I bet Hey Shay could somehow find her way to get a free paddle.
Wow, huge.
Man, Texas. Big moments here now. Big moments here. Hey Shay, what paddle are you playing with these days? Let us know. Everybody here, all nine of y'all. What paddles are we playing with these days?
Yeah, Tina's so good at getting in the kitchen. She's so
Yeah,
careful,
that's why
placing
she's
those
so good
moves.
last year with Kwong and this year with Eric. Like, I even asked her about this in her interview at the end of one of the last matches. Is like she's basically like those are two players that
Oh, there you go.
kind of need an adult, and Tina is that adult. Oh, there it is. Nice trigger pull. We've got a pair of
Off the
match
bounce.
points. There's an off the bounce speed up winner for Tina Pisnick. That'll show up in the stats.
Off the high bounce, off of Leia's attempted speed up that turned into just a dink, but it bounced so high it gave her an opportunity. She took advantage.
Hey, and there's an interesting insight from Value Robot in the chat saying, the side out lets you switch sides kind of on the fly. You don't have to use a timeout. You can kind of just have that flexibility.
Yep. Well, they did it in rally as well. They would just
Hmm.
stack in rally also.
That's true. But
But yeah,
yeah.
they would time out eventually to take advantage of the.
Ooh, that one felt a little high. Looked a little attackable to me, but what do I know?
That was a good attack.
Yeah. All right. One more chance at it here, though. One more chance at it here. Oh, man. How did they keep that going? They got jammed up in
Yeah.
the middle there. That's what's funny is like you almost have a catastrophic mess up like that, and then as long as you survive it, like we're still playing. We're back in it. Man,
Firefight.
how did they escape
They're
that?
they're
How
back.
did they escape that?
I love how the player impact plus is getting tangled at the end. These plays are all so good. Over
I
the
know.
long term math, they're right there beside each other.
Wow, that felt like a missed opportunity for Texas. It's almost like they had all the momentum, and then you have one you should have won. We'll see if they can keep it going now. Yeah, Seth in the chat. How about Georgia, 44-1 yesterday? She had a 42-0 run. That is still active right now, by the way. So that's remarkable.
She came out a little slow, I
I
think.
mean, it came out just a little slow. It was 2-1, and then she won 42 straight rally or points. So certainly impressive. Although I do hate the Dallas Flash, they are my rivals. I don't know if I've mentioned that before on this channel. Um,
Good speed up there.
yeah,
Yeah,
tied this
off the high ball.
man.
That's an
This is
opportunity
good.
yielded, classic opportunity
As
yielded.
Dave Fleming says, this is why we love women's doubles.
This is why. Put some buffalo sauce on our chicken wing.
You know what's funny, Hey Shay, is remember we did that fake mock draft with all those random internet people like a year ago ish, maybe like 6 months ago, and we were all kind of making fun of Maurice the Grease for taking Georgia like fourth overall, but like dude was on something. He was onto something because like she's so good right now. She's playing so well right now.
It was a good recovery by Leia there.
That was remarkable.
And those balls are going over the net just by like 4 inches.
Yeah, she's dialed in, working their way back up to the kitchen after getting pushed off. Man, Leia is playing lights out right now. Oh no! Oh, that.
What a game.
Oh,
What a game.
oh,
This is why.
oh. That is why we love women's doubles too. You know, we for a variety of reasons.
There, they fixed the score.
Is the score wrong on their stream or on your
The
stream?
score has been wrong on theirs, I think, a little
I
bit,
mean,
but
that's my number
we
one
got
gripe. I think it's
figures.
like,
Yeah.
how do you not have the score? Like, just lock that down.
Oh, that's it. Oh,
Is that out?
well, you got to challenge it.
Got to challenge that. Let's get Chris Callie in here. Is that a hook of the week? Are we what's going on here? Wow, what a game though. What a game. I hate that it went this way.
Exciting. Yeah. Back and forth
We got a
there.
lot of back and forth.
And
Um,
Leia comes out as the highest.
okay, can you guys hear these dogs? This is crazy. Do y'all hear the dogs barking at me like 24/7 here? This is driving me nuts. Uh, Man, what a game! There was a few missed opportunities there, certainly for the sliders before that big run from Texas, and then Texas
I
had
feel like
more
this
than
game
enough.
might not be over.
That
I mean, that angle it always looks in. I know,
yeah,
but
that
we
looks.
need a different angle. But I'm sure they've got another angle. Probably not.
Seth, I'm with you, man. The website is another one of my big complaints. Like, I like what they're doing with it in theory, if it worked, but like the standings are totally broken. Like the standings, it says like regular season wins, Dreambreaker, and it just was showing like completely gibberish. Like the numbers were just not real at all. It had the points right at least, but like the player standings totally busted, team standings, all the details busted. It's not updating fast at all. Which I mean, maybe I'm just being a little complainy pants. They had the wrong team winning several times on the first day. Like there's just a lot of little things that, again, on the internet, we love to complain, but like it feels like there's just so many easy things they could do better that they're just not doing. All right, what do we see from that other angle there? I mean, it feels kind of into me. Yes, the score bugs value. Like this score bug, it looks like they just repurposed one of the PPA ones on one of them. Like when they showed up, they were like, "Oh, we don't have the little serving icon because in rally scoring that's what matters." Like, well, we added it in and it was so tiny, and then they added it in, and now it's like gone half the time. I don't know. I don't know. I could do a whole. I'm going to do a whole rant on just you know like a little airing of grievances. Um, so we'll see. We'll see what the call is here.
I think they'll have the call in 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, man, this is a kind of a long game. It's already 10:40, and we're still on the first game here. Like,
I'm sorry, what?
did they start this late or what?
A little
A
late.
little late, but like, this is a long game.
The ball is out. Confirmed that it's out.
Confirmed out. Eric, I think those numbers next to their team is like their current standings, which has absolutely no value at this point in the season, but like that's what it is. I'm pretty sure. It's like they're like treating it uh, like their seed if it was like a playoff. Huh. I know. Yeah. Okay, so that match is in the books. Let's go ahead and do a real clear stats deep dive. Tina Pisnik by far saw the most touches, 95% accuracy rate. So despite having 12 errors, she saw the ball 240 times. So only 5% error rate. Leia Jansen, not a whole lot of errors at all. Played very clean. Harris did take the majority of the thirds, and Tina took the majority of the thirds for Texas. As far as, so we've also got here, we have player impact plus here, but here's just raw player impact, which doesn't really take
It
into
ignores
account
forced
the
errors.
forced errors part. It's just winners minus unforced errors, a little bit more just to the point. We can see Tina saw a lot of touches, but only hit two winners over 240 touches, only two winners. So she's kind of playing more of a support setup role, just kind of keeping the rally going.
Yeah.
27 hits. She's hitting the ball 27 times before she's hitting a rally winning shot on average versus
Yep.
15 for Tina,
Yep.
what we're seeing here. Unforced errors, 10 for Texas to 7 for Columbus. What percentage of the time do you think the team that just straight up has fewer unforced errors like wins? Like, is that one of the most important stats?
It correlates a lot. So the things that correlate the most, I haven't like run a regression, but it's like unforced errors, whoever wins unforced errors, whoever wins firefights, whoever wins pitch and rallies. Those are usually the biggest. determining factors.
Seth in the chat says he loves Real Clear Stats. How am I accessing this? This is Real Clear Stats. This is Ben. This is his thing. So
Real Clear Stats on Instagram, and we have a bunch of matches, recent matches on our profile there, and we'll be sharing this one. You can look at
yeah,
this one.
so he's not going to share every match because then he wouldn't have data to sell to the teams. But every now and then he'll share one, and I'll usually include it when I can.
We're not. Our goal is not just to sell data to teams. Our goal, we'd love to just give it away to everybody, but someone's got to pay for it. So hopefully we'll get a TV deal for one of these leagues, and then they'll hire someone like us to come in and say, hey, we're gonna track all the stats, and we'll give them away to the teams and players and fans at varying levels. But and if that doesn't happen, then we might just have to do it on our own, do it our own way over time. But we'll get there.
Back into
we free the stats.
Yeah.
Hashtag free the stats.
Back in here, we can kind of see the player impact plus flow. Paris Todd with Red Hot kind of came crashing down a little bit, to reality there as Texas started their big run. We saw Tina Pisnick and Etta really turn it on. We saw some unforced errors down the stretch. Made the game closer than it probably needed to be. Looking at some team stats, and Value is saying he wants to know the number of side outs. Yeah, I think we can get to that here in a second. Here's, we've talked about this one earlier, but just the kitchen arrival. This is so important. Getting to the kitchen is one of the most important things you can do.
Even more important is third shot success, which we don't have exposed on the dashboard yet. But that's an important one. I could tell you what the data.
Yeah. So what Ben's going to go digging here for third shot success is just when you hit a third, if you either get to the kitchen or if you hit a winner, you win the rally before you get to the kitchen. What percentage of the time are you doing that? And when we had Jack Monroe back here and we were playing with him, my third shot success was like 4%, which is just atrocious. When we just played with our 3-5 buddies, it was like 30%, which is still pretty bad.
So third shot success for Texas was 69.2%.
Nice.
And third shot success for Columbus was 81.5%.
So Columbus won the third shot battle.
And the thirds were taken 14-4 by Tina and 15-7 by Paris.
So the average rally...
by Paris.
So 53 rallies, that's above average. What do we average usually in a side out to 11, like 38 to 40?
41.
So longer than average, which of course means more side outs. 40.
Yeah, so you can see that here, rallies won by servers is 55%, rallies won by returners is 55%.
And the higher that number of rallies won by returners gets, the longer the match will go on, just because that's just how it works. 13.89 hits per rally is above average as well, right? Usually is closer to like 10.
Yeah, closer to 10. I can't remember for women's what it is, but I mean these were two really pretty evenly matched teams. I think we said at the beginning, so it kind of turned out how we expected. Of course, crazy things could happen. They could have scored one more point, and we would have been talking about the blowout that happened, right? So
I mean that's so funny. That's so true. It's like one rally away can change the narrative so much.
And that's just like they played above level for long enough, or someone had played below level for long enough. And that's part of why I like traditional score or rally scoring, because we're guaranteed at least to get 21 rallies. But with traditional scoring, we're only guaranteed to get 11 rallies. So at least with 21 rallies, you get time for that long-term math to develop, and we don't have like weird upsets like this would have been if they got to 11.
So yeah, I think we've kind of covered most of the stats here for this game. Maybe just looking at we'll do the speed ups real quick. Look at that. I can kind of get both of them on here, but
I like looking at the teams so you can see like
Columbus was the more aggressive team. Yeah,
that down.
Columbus definitely a lot more speed ups and firefight initiations. Tina Pisnick really struggled on the counters. Normally she's so solid on the counters. They were able to find some spots against her.
Yeah. Leia had some really good attacks.
Yeah. And it looks like it was mostly Leia, although Paris also had a fair amount. So, pretty evenly split in terms of who was initiating for the sliders women. Very interesting. Yeah, Tina normally so solid on the counters. Not the case today. We'll see how the men do. And the stats I'm going to be looking at that I wasn't really paying attention to in the women's match that will be probably relevant in the men's match, I think, are these serves and returns. Just go back and watch that Brooklyn versus Texas match, the first match of MLP this year. It wasn't technically the first match, the second match, but still, the way I did a whole reel on it too, on Instagram, on YouTube Shorts, and on Twitter, just kind of breaking down the new rule. You have to drop it from your shoulder. You can't toss it more than one ball length. You have to swing up, and the paddle head has to be below your wrist. Wow. Point of contact does not matter. So he was like doing a full jump almost, like barely had a foot on the ground. And Deckel mid rally was just turned to the ref, like, are you freaking kidding me right now? It was really funny to see. Yeah, that
Jackal
was a
has the best
40-minute game.
shrug.
How did
I
it?
need a shruggy
Yeah,
gif of
yeah.
Jackal. He's the best shrug. He has the best shrug like after he makes a
And
mistake.
after he wins a match, he always just goes like,
Well,
he
that's
does
the
that
best.
too.
Yeah, he likes his palms up to the sky for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Okay, a question in the chat. Do you have to manually enter a scoring decision of forced versus unforced error? Yes, he is training up his stat guys behind the scenes. He's got a whole army of scorers, and they have trained so they are consistent in their methodology. There are other places, like I think Pickle Vision is almost entirely AI. Is that what's called Pickle
Yeah, but they're
Vision?
not giving you
They're not
forced
giving you
unforced.
exactly unforced and forced errors. There is a human element, but yeah, it is a human decision. And if you want this for your matches, I mean, I don't know if Ben has launched this yet. You've talked about doing it for people if they like, pay to get it statted. I think
Yeah, I mean
that
you can message us if
so
if you
if
want
you
to
if
check
you
it out.
have
We can talk.
you record your matches and you want to get this statted for one of yours, just shoot Ben a message on Instagram and maybe he'll be able to hook you up. I've done it for our matches and it's a lot of fun. Anyway, the match has started here, men double, so I probably should watch it. So I'm going to do that. I am going to do that. Whew, that was a long one.
Like just he's accelerating every ball.
Hmm.
Eric, love it.
So it's always interesting too. Like you get credit for just the winner if you hit just a winner. The opponent doesn't get their paddle on it, and then if you hit what is a winner, but they somehow just make a stab and like touch it, then all of a sudden it becomes a forced error and
Yep.
error forced. It's kind of just one interesting wrinkle in the data that could like it all bounces out in the long run once you have all this data, but like on a small scale level, as with anything, it can kind of you know there's something to keep in mind. I'm going to move it over to the men's doubles tab too, since that's
Yeah,
what
I
we're looking
mean
at
we
here.
you know you oh, what were you saying? I lost my
I don't
train
even
of thought.
remember.
I'm scoring here,
I don't
so
remember. It wasn't
sorry.
important.
Oh yeah. I mean, basically, if you hit a ball that no one touches with their paddle, then there's a much smaller chance of it coming back. And so we're just putting a higher value on that. We're not necessarily saying that if, someone deserves,
Hmm.
a lot of negative attention because a ball kind of nicked their paddle or something. But I mean, we're not trying to find nicks, but
Hmm.
man, these are quick rallies so far. Hold on, I need to refresh that.
Do I need to refresh it too?
Um, hang on, I'll figure out what's going on.
Ooh, what's the call there?
Um,
I hate that. Like I just look at the stream and I never know if the score is actually right. It's just we've got a dog in the pool now, folks. We've got a dog in the pool. And I think another thing too, we're gonna want to yeah, can you think of a more athletic men's team than the Ranchers? Asked Eric Tice. I don't think there is one. I mean, Christian Alshon's probably like your number one in your power rankings of like athletic men. And I mean, I think Eric is quickly as he becomes, more of a known entity, he's going to be climbing that sort of list and getting that kind of attention. Like
yeah,
this is a fun team. Like I was kind of bummed they weren't running it back with Kwong because him and Christian could just be so aggressive, but like it hasn't gone anywhere. This is a similar style,
hmm
a similar style. That's for sure. And we'll get we'll get these stats updating here in a second. It's just
yeah. Sorry, I'm not sure why it shows up for me, so that's why
I'll
I'm.
just refresh it.
Well, I think there's something else. I may have not connected them correctly. I'll have to check it in a minute. I'm just unfortunately scoring right now.
Yeah, no worries. Do, 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 do. Nice 3-0 start for Texas on their first service run. And yeah,
Sorry, just a second.
what a debut for Onsen. Yeah, spot on. I first saw
Okay,
Eric
there it is.
play.
It's in there.
Oh, yeah,
Gotta
stats should be
refresh it.
updating here in a second. Excellent. I first saw Eric play at APP New York last year, and I think he had a pretty good tournament that week. And I was like he was good, and then I
Yeah.
didn't really see too much from him
No.
until recently. I feel like,
Yeah.
but yeah. Okay, here we go. We've got stats. Um, yeah. We'll give it a second to get a little bit of a
Klinger with some errors early, but
yeah.
he's coming back a little bit. He had a speed up. He just had actually he should be up near zero now.
And how about so far? Very heavy skew towards Klinger in terms of where the balls are going. Who's seeing more balls? Wow, that's a nice shot. And I was just watching that very sharp angle winner.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's nice.
that was nice. Third shots, by the way. Let's take a look. Klinger has taken all four for the Columbus, and he is only dropping the ball so far. Whereas Ranchers have had 7 third shots, and they are all drives. And oh, we got a foot fault call there, or was that a? I don't know. I can't tell. I, it's hard for me to see what's actually
I
going
didn't
on.
see that on that rally. Oh,
Oh no, it
they
was a
said
winner.
that.
Yeah, yeah. This seems like by pickleball standards, very tall team.
Oh, that was a football call
Oh,
on Columbus, I guess.
interesting. Oh, we did get a drop from Alshon on one of those thirds. So not all drives all the time. And serves no points from serve just yet. We do have a missed serve there, I think. So behind that.
Okay. Another drop from Winger, but it's way high. So fault from Eric. I might be like a little bit behind. Okay, I'm gonna catch up.
Whew, speed up down the middle.
Is that
Andre on
Klinger?
it, just a second below. I couldn't see who hit that one. That was
Let's see
Andre.
what our other scorer thinks.
Do foot faults unforced errors?
Yep.
Foot faults are always
Uh, not. I mean, everything has an exception, but mostly yes.
somebody's here. We've got company. Hello, Basil. Hi. How are you doing? Basil. S- Seth is asking if you stat PPA. Ben does stat some PPAs, not all of them, because more of right now your focus is MLP because you just kind of have like
But but actually, the data from MLP is actually way more valuable than PPA, and not many people seem to understand that. But
because you
it's
get a
true.
variety
I
of
can explain
partners,
it
or
someday
yeah.
if you want me to. But
But as far as how many balls is Ben hitting versus Tardio in their matches, you statted a few of Ben and Tardio yet? Have you done them yet?
yeah, we've got a few. If you go to our profile, you can go and see a few of their finals matches, and you can. I don't know off the top of my head the answer.
Yeah, go check out the links in Real Clear Stats Instagram page, and he'll have some recent matches they've scored if you're interested in diving into that. Um, I've been trying to put together a little PPA video. It's just I've been busy. But I want to do like a year-to-date recap. I've got all my kind of results, medal points, stuff like that. But also wanted to dive in on like the whole Catherine Anna Lee split up and Rachel Anna, kind of looking at some of the matches you've scored to see like what we can expect going forward, maybe why partnerships were growing a little stale or wasn't working as much. So that's something to keep an eye out for. I'll probably have that out before the next PPA video if you're into that kind of thing.
Looks
Um,
like our refresh stopped happening on this one. Are you still good over there? 663.
no, try refresh.
It's, I think I need to do this again. It's weird. Okay. Okay, should be working now. Yep. Sometimes it's like it loses the socket, the web socket.
No, I'm wearing this jean jacket just so
Yeah, it's getting warm.
It's because this shirt is too small and I was self-conscious about it, so I wanted to put a jacket on. But alas, blow the guns out. All right. So last game we had an average rally length of what 13 hits, and here we're at 7.16. So this is
What's the kitchen arrival is probably very
yeah.
low. 25% for the sliders.
Yeah.
They're not getting in there.
The Ranchers keeping Columbus off the kitchen line.
That's kind
Pretty
of the story, right?
pretty even battle when their teams are at the kitchen, but when they're not there, yeah, struggling to get there. We're looking at this number here, kitchen arrival, which we can see also in detail in this kitchen contention. An attempt would mean basically like a third shot drop, but it doesn't count as an attempt if you hit a winner or something, or if you win the rally. Like,
Right.
yeah,
If you win before you arrive, that's not considered an attempt. It's not
you
considered
don't
an
get dinged for
arrival,
that. Yeah,
but it's also not considered an attempt. But success takes that into account. That's why success is
yeah.
a good metric that we prefer. Oh, Onson's left. Oh, he's always been left.
Mhm. So I got confused there. I looked down and we had done the end switch. Oh, we've got crybaby puppy dogs. Doo, 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 doo.
Wow, he was ready for that. Dang.
Yeah, he was all over that. I like
Seems like
the
Onson's like reaches 2 inches from the net. He reaches far.
like a lot like
Amazing.
even like people don't think of him as like an aggressive player, but like I'll see Colin John's back here in the backyard practicing a ton, and he'll be reaching like so far over, and he's got like his counterweight, like his hand back there, and I'm like, man, these guys are reaching so far into the kitchen, and they're still able to get that spin on it. And I'm gonna go throw a ball for this dog who's barking.
And that tells you, how accurate those drops are into the kitchen and how hard it is to get an aerial attack. Super challenging, and they're just trying to create something. Very nice by Klinger.
And now it's looking at Andre with 6 errors on only 35 touches, but no unforced errors, so take that with a grain of salt. Also, just still early in this match, although it is kind of.
Is it?
Is it
Did we get
updating?
stuck?
We get stuck. I'm at
Okay.
6-3.
I'll fix it in a second.
We're having trouble with our auto refresh on our stat file, so my
Okay, I got it right now. Go ahead.
this would be big for Texas. I mean, going down 0-2, heading into mixed, I feel like does not bode well for them. So getting this win feels crucial to at least get a point out of this match, and hopefully win the mix. Oh, there's a first point off serve. Looked like just a bad bounce off of a Klinger serve.
Yeah. 5-7-1 timeout Texas. That means I'm going to throw the ball for Hobie.
Time out, Texas. Biggest surprise yesterday in a single game.
Jeez.
Let me think. What even went down yesterday? Not too surprised by Columbus taking down Carolina. It's one of those interesting ones where Columbus was on their third match and like the pressure was on to like freaking get some points. They had 0 points through 2 matches versus Carolina Hogs on their first match of their season. It's like I feel like that heavily favors the team that's like played three and like needs to get a win versus the team that's just playing their first match. Like I don't know. So not too surprising there. Texas swept the Slice, which I mean, as expected. I think Dallas also beat Columbus, which not too surprising there. Maybe the big surprise was just that in a single game, like Augie and Jada have taken down CJ and Andre.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I don't think there have been too many big surprises. Maybe the Phoenix Flames forcing the Dreambreaker against Orlando, and almost taking that one. We had, like I said earlier, we had a little contest going with a bunch of so-called experts picking matches, and all 13 of us had picked Orlando to beat Phoenix, and sure enough, Phoenix almost did it. Um,
And crash and bash. Just more
Yeah.
and more of it. It's just power on power.
Here's a good one. Every 7 touches for Christian Alcon, he is initiating a firefight. He is playing very aggressive right now.
It's called on Alshon?
What just happened there?
I'm not sure what happens.
Hi, Basil.
There's a challenge.
Chat, what happened there? Where'd your ball go? No, there it is.
Okay, try this. Try the other men's doubles 2 tabs and see if that
Ow!
updates
Oh,
live more successfully.
Basil's like pawing at me because I
Oh,
went through the ball. Oh, this is like torture for you to sit here, right? Basil, just leave me alone, please. Can you leave me alone?
oh yeah. They're gonna replay this rally. That's not a foot fault because he reestablished.
Basil, stop that. Basil, no, Basil, get that out of your mouth. Jeez.
Careful of the power. Oh,
Yeah, I
he's
know.
chewing on that.
He wasn't chewing on it. He just was going for the ball, and the ball was like right behind the
Dog
power cord.
chaos.
Yeah.
Cute dogs don't come without a cost.
Go, Basil. Go. I just threw him. Go. God, those tennis balls are just disgusting. Pure filth. Huh.
Yeah, we're gonna look at this for like a long time, and
What
it's
even was
clear
the
they
call here?
reestablished. It was foot fault on Alshon, so I think it was a speed up by Klinger here. Klinger speeds up to Alshon, and then Alshon, or wait,
I don't even. They're jumping all over the place. Another nitpick.
yeah,
What the hell is this review? What are we even looking at?
okay. Hanson's dinks or tries to pops it up. Klinger attacks, and then volley by Alshon. He pushed off the line, but he reestablished it. I predicted 7. This is like almost 30% more than that.
Yeah. My feed just the app too. Another
Oh,
nitpick, guys. The app.
yeah.
It's so close to being good, but it's not. Like I've lost my stream.
All the call stands. Oh my gosh. I'd love to hear why, but okay.
Okay. Can we call it an app? Why can't I get the grandstand feed to work? Oh, because I was clicking on.
Alshon left now. Sorry, you'll get there.
I'm here.
You can glance over
I'm
me
here.
too.
Yeah, we're good
Features
now. We're good now.
are
I
not
think we're
stacking.
7-7 now. Jeez. Please, app, just play. I just want to watch pickleball. Is that so hard to ask? Okay, I'm back. I think. Yeah. What even happened there? I completely missed all that drama. I'll go back
It
and
was
find that.
drama. There was drama for sure. You have to check it out. It's Alshon. Okay, here we go.
Oh my gosh.
Service fault.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. As Owen Wilson would say, wow.
Wow, this is big if if Columbus goes up
Am I being
2-0,
a massive homer, or is this just a ref inserting herself into this match when we're just trying to play pickleball here? We're just serving, come on.
she's inspired by the orange court, I
We're
think.
serving like grease monkeys. So what if we throw the ball 1.5 ball lengths? Just come on. What a fun matchup, though.
Sarah Ansbury is a fan of the call.
Okay, good for her.
I wasn't paying attention to know what I think.
There's a firefight. Booyah. Booyah. Look,
One
there's a little
one.
chest bump.
That's
There's a chest
fun.
bump.
Love that.
There's a chest bump. I didn't actually think they were going to have chemistry issues. I know they were just competitors. They're going to be able to squash it. It was just kind of fun to be like, oh, they give each other the bird. How's this going to work? But like, it's a fun partnership. Good counter. Oh,
Nice.
unforced error
Good
after a
reset.
good reset, though.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're, I guess, a second ahead of me.
Look, the tables have
For
turned. Now,
once.
now my stream's ahead of
Turns
yours.
table.
We've got all four players with negative player impact plus scores. What do we think of that? Is that a rarity, or
It doesn't happen much at this
does that mean
level.
we're seeing a lot of unforced errors? It's
Yeah,
kind
it
of
does.
yeah. I mean, 9 unforced errors for Eric, 4 for Christian, 2 for Dasku, 5 for Klinger. Okay, it's a good amount of unforced errors.
Yeah.
Man, now we're seeing Anshin's getting a lot more balls. 60% of all the balls are going to Eric. Yeah, there's another one. Another
Yeah.
unforced error.
Yeah. It was a good
Yeah.
dink, but not enough to be a forced error.
It's like this is kind of the one knock against your best player being a right side guy, right? It's like he's kind of getting taken out of the game right now. He's
Yeah,
like,
but I think you have to look at what for the season, what's the best strategy.
yeah,
If
no,
Onsens can raise his level, he'll get these reps against a lot of talent that he doesn't often face.
I mean, still, Alshon is starting firefights every 7 touches compared to Eric's 34 touches. So they're making Eric dink a little bit and grind it a little bit. Let's see if they can close it out here though. Now looks like we got a timeout. Columbus, they want to think this one over.
Alshon again with a, or no, I guess that was a counter by Alshon there.
Yeah, you can
Nicely done.
rewind, but it's not easy, man. I actually just jumped all the way back to halfway through the women's match. That's why my
If
my
you're on a
stream.
mobile device,
Gosh, if
yes,
you're
but if you're on a laptop, it's pretty easy to
okay,
to
I haven't
to
even done
get
it on a
to get
laptop
around.
once in
If
my
you
life.
if you tab over to the slider bar, you can use forward back arrow to get 5 second chunks.
Hey, thanks for joining, Charles. Hope you're enjoying it. It's just kind of fun. This is almost like a test proof of concept run we're doing here.
Yeah,
We got a
learning
few
some
viewers in
things.
here. We got a few viewers in here. We peaked at we had 12 people in here at one point. But we're just having fun. I was going to watch this game anyway. He was going to score it anyway, so I
Exactly,
said let's
yeah,
throw up a live stream and just kind of
might as well.
share the data with the people. So hope you're enjoying it. If I was a proper YouTuber, I'd tell you to like and subscribe. So I guess do that. But yeah, thanks for joining. Why was this match on Grandstand? Just because, Seth. Just the way it is, man. Don't ask too many questions. You get what you get. All right.
All right, here we go.
10-8, match point number 1 of 2. And is that a 2 becoming 1 foot fault call? Did they collide and one of them was touching the kitchen maybe?
So many weird calls.
The
What is
refs.
happening?
We need to
This
get
is
a we need to get
really
a third we
useful.
need to get
I'm
a third a fifth line on this player impact flow chart to have the refs on
rough.
there. Player
Oh
impact on
my
the
God.
refs. It feels significant. That felt like this match got totally disrupted. There was, I mean, I don't have the volume on, and I only half paid attention. So, maybe give them a grain of a benefit of the doubt here. But Eric is saying this is terrible.
Well, I mean, I'm not even necessarily blaming the ref, but just for so many weird things to happen, it's just a little bit out there. You expect like one or two of these things every match, but this has been like five in two games. They're challenging the football call, but I think it's going to be game over.
Let's see what kind of replay we get here.
Okay. Andre knocked into CJ, the commentator's saying.
So yes, I mean CJ's foot there. So if they touch, it's two
Yeah,
becomes one.
yeah.
Two becomes one.
Who hit it?
It, it,
Oh, yeah, sorry, we're on reverse. Okay, here we go.
okay, that was confusing.
Yeah, it is really confusing.
So because he hits it,
That's the third drive.
and now two becomes one, right?
It doesn't matter because CJ hit
Yeah,
it, right?
CJ hit it.
Oh, CJ hit it.
Yeah, but it wasn't his momentum of the shot. It was his momentum
Yeah,
of his
I
partner.
don't think that should. What's
No,
the rule?
I think that's a foot fault for sure. You volleyed it and then you fell in the kitchen, regardless of
No,
if it
no,
was
no.
because your partner hit you.
CJ hit it
Yeah, and then CJ's in the kitchen.
because Diasco pushes him.
Yeah, but he's still.
That's part of it. That's
I
the
think
rule.
so. I think if you hit it, and then you fall in somehow one way or the other, like I think you're. Yeah, the Spice Girls rule. Is that what I'm saying? The two becomes one thing. I don't even think it was technically two becomes one. I don't even know.
Okay, he hits it. He's in balance, and then he gets pushed by Diasco.
There needed to have been more time between when he hit it and then got pushed in. Like it was too close together. I
Okay,
feel like
maybe. Here we go.
Eric says I'm right, so screw you, Ben. I'm
Here's the
right.
ruling.
You can suck it. Game's over.
Yeah, game's over.
Yeah. Hey, we had both matches ending on a review. How about that?
Both games. All
Both
right. Well, that
games.
was
Yeah.
huge. Ranchers had to have that one. Okay. So now, so who managed to not tank in this game? It
Yeah.
was Alshon.
Alshon is the one player who had a 0 player impact plus here, or it was in the positive, just in raw player impact. Everybody else was just trying to stay above water, and like that that happens. That happens. So let's go ahead and run through all of our. Actually, I don't think I've updated fully yet. Okay, there it is. The final rally just came in, and let's take a look. We had a lot of errors. More unforced errors for Texas, 14 unforced errors to 9 for Columbus.
That's a lot of unforced errors. That doesn't happen.
That is a lot.
But they had a lot of rally wins, right? So
Yeah.
they won 16 rallies, and Columbus Lighters only won 7
Mhm.
rallies with their shot. So that's
Yeah.
so
I
many
mean,
unforced errors. They overcame them though.
you look at winners plus errors forced. So 10 rally wins for Eric on his 106 shots, 6 rally wins for Christian on his 60 shots. So almost identical rate of hitting the ball. And this is what this means. This 10.6 number means you hit the ball every 10.6 times, you won a rally, basically.
Yes.
Compare that to Andre Diascu and CJ Klinger. They just weren't actually forcing the issue in winning rallies by hitting winners or forcing errors. They were just getting a lot of unforced errors from
Yeah,
Texas.
I mean, they were starting firefights,
Mhm.
but they're only a plus 10% margin on firefights is below average.
Mhm.
So you're not gonna scare anybody with that.
Looking at the third shot selection, yeah, we had 22 third shots for Texas and 20 drives, 2 drops. Uh, so that's not too surprising. Also, I feel like I've seen some YouTube videos on this. Maybe it was a Zane video or somebody's, third to returner percent. You see Eric hitting that third shot to the returner 73% of the
Yeah,
time.
trying to catch the guy moving
Hmm.
with drives usually, right? Yeah.
Serves and returns, no points for one on serve except for a bad bounce. Eric missed one return on a CJ Klinger serve, and we did have uh, 2 service errors, one each from Eric, which was an illegal serve they called a fault on, and then Alshon, I think, just missed one maybe. We did have
Yeah, Alshon missed one.
a
He's
much,
going for the tee.
almost half, look, 7.28 hits per rally in this game compared to the women's doubles game we just watched, where we had 13.9 hits, so like almost half as quick. And we still are at the hour 15 mark, with just half of this match done. So
So this is a rare game where the team with more unforced errors, a lot more,
mhm.
actually ended up winning. And so you can see, obviously, unforced errors are bad, but they're mostly aggressive unforced errors because they generated just enough offense. I mean, it was close,
I mean, the final score, what was it?
11-8.
11-8. So I mean, you look at the unforced errors, Texas was +5 in that, so that's not good. But in terms of rally wins, they were +9, so that more than makes up for it.
Yeah.
If you're hitting unforced errors, maybe it's because you're trying to be aggressive, which they clearly were.
Yeah, and they had to be. Yeah.
Also, Columbus Sliders, 38% kitchen arrival is not good. Well below, I would say, what you consider to be a good mark. Even the 58% mark is not stellar, right?
58% where?
Kitchen arrival for the ranchers.
Yeah, no, it's not great, but
Um,
in that style, in that game, it was kind of enough.
Ranchers did win more rallies when they got to the kitchen too.
Yep.
We can see who was getting targeted by the firefights. Pretty even spread of who was getting targeted on the counters here. Um, who was starting the firefights? We can see it really was Christian getting the action started, even though he didn't have that many touches. Like, you know, he still was able to insert himself into this match. And then lastly, any other game stats we want to look
You
at?
know who's playing? Okay, Onsens.
Yeah, it looks like we got
Oh,
Onsens and Pisnik
already missed a
versus.
rally? Or no, we're still practicing.
Oh, we're practicing again. Yeah, so that's kind of the deep dive of the real clear stats. Let me know if you want me to dive in on any of those stats. Was there anything else that you saw you don't understand what it means? I've got the guy right here, so he can tell you what it means.
We're gonna try this, but I might have to create a new dashboard for this one too. We'll see what
Cool.
happens once we get started here. It is updating right now, so hopefully it keeps updating. So we got Diascu. Who's playing with Diascu?
Oh my god, my coffee's cold and it's so gross.
Oh, I've got tea here.
It's a pretty damning indictment of coffee that it's disgusting if it's not really hot or really cold. The fact that it's like
Oh yeah,
if it's lukewarm, it just tastes
just
awful.
want to spit it out of your
Really,
mouth.
really is it's kind of like
The good book
makes you
says.
makes you question this whole coffee thing. I'll tell you that.
Andre's practicing
It's practicing solo.
flicks. Oh my gosh, that's really fun.
Hey, I'm gonna take a quick break while we wait for this match to start. I'm gonna insert an ad so I can make like 50 cents. Let's see how it goes, guys. So don't
Wow,
bail on me. I'm gonna
this
make
is
y'all watch
crazy.
one ad, okay? Ad inserted. Are y'all watching an ad now? Oh, I think that put an ad in. I don't know.
Are we still on? Or are they seeing an ad? Tell them to go buy whatever it is immediately. I'm hoping to get at least 50 cents for this. Nice firefight there.
Okay, I don't think it's still an ad break. Anyway, okay, we've got mixed doubles starting, so I guess let's flip over to the mixed doubles tab. And is it updating? It is. It's updating.
Nice.
A
I'm
21
so
shot
surprised.
rally to get things started. Love to see it. I didn't actually watch it though. I was too busy talking per usual.
Yeah, the firefight was nice. A good clean
Mhm.
firefight, really satisfying to watch.
It is fun watching the charts go in real time. You know. Oh, Eric getting very aggressive there. Puts it into the net. Like that is an unforced error, correct?
Yeah,
He's stepping
it's an
over.
aggressive unforced error.
Hmm.
It's something we're considering adding, like
Yeah,
a
like was it just
like
a dink unforced error
right,
versus like
exactly.
a yeah? That's interesting.
Yeah, and kitchen arrival. Got ourselves a kitchen rally on our hands. Wow, nice slide by Paris to get that.
Is the score wrong on the stream? Or I mean, I'm sure it is. It always is.
I think it might be
I still see 1-1 on the stream, but it doesn't feel right. Feels quite wrong, actually.
3-1-2. She called. Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm sure they'll update the score eventually. You can always tell when they've messed up the score because they just like, oh crap, it's wrong, and then they hide it. They just like make it go away until they fix it. So I feel like it's one of those things too. When I go back and pull clips, if I'm doing a video where I'm pulling clips, I always am like, God damn, it's freaking score.
Yeah.
It's like makes it so much harder to tell
Well,
what's going
it
on.
drives me crazy too
Yeah.
because they have a human that's
Well, and you guys go
doing
back and
that.
rewatch every game, so I'm sure it like drives you
I
nuts.
would just assume there'd be a human
Hmm.
that's doing what we're doing.
There's a winner from Eric.
Yep, that's a speed up winner.
So let's talk about the kind of match flow. It's 1-1. Um,
Yeah,
Not too surprising how we got there. They both kind of felt like toss-ups, honestly, the way these teams have been playing. I would have
I feel
probably
like
thought it would go the other way, to be honest.
yeah,
Women's doubles Rangers, men's doubles Columbus, but we got to 1-1 one way or the other. So now in mixed, as Tina gets a very nice ATP, in which we do track, by the way. You've got ATPs on here.
yes,
Um, I feel
and it's
like
also a speed up. It's also considered a
I
speed
feel
up.
like probably would give the edge to Andre and Paris. Feels like conventional wisdom, in this one, and then maybe go Christian and
Yeah,
Ed are the Ferris in the next match.
I think
So,
so. But I
so
mean, 1 game to 11, right?
yeah, that's the thing. Is like keep in mind, guys. Oh, we've got a visitor. We've got Andy, our buddy Andy, joining us here in a second. When Ben Jones was at like his peak, he was only winning in like 2023 83% of all games to 11. So it's like,
Which is incredible.
which is a lot.
Which is incredible ultimately. But
We've
yeah,
got
it
we've
might
got the
surprise people since he almost never loses.
we've got a third man, but I only have two mics, so we'll see if Ben needs to focus on scoring. We can get Andy and give some insights here. Um,
Was that out? It was. Wow.
have you been watching? Are we doing good? Yeah, we're doing great. He said we're doing good. He didn't say great. I said great. He said
He's giving us like the feedback your partner gives you when you're
yeah,
playing. Yeah, those thirds are great. Keep them
yeah,
coming. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, I don't mind the high
I
third.
think we've had significantly fewer technical hiccups than my ill-fated stream with Eric. Although that one was just, I had no idea what I was doing. The fact that it took me 3 streams to get it up, and we were having, yeah, just, we had some Wi-Fi issues that day too, which doesn't always happen. Yeah, we've got, hanging out with us here now is our buddy Andy, who plays with us a lot, and
Is he in frame?
he's not in frame, but he's just chilling. And he's done a fun, he's trying to get fantasy
Yeah, we
pickleball
don't we don't
started.
want to have to pay people
Yeah.
extra every appearance. We have to,
He's got a link which I can tweet out if you want to get involved next event. It's like fantasy pickleball. Right now, it's really more of like a pick 'em, like you're picking who you think's going to win games. But he's kind of just building out the framework, testing the proof of concept, and hopefully, eventually getting some kind of fantasy thing that we can play.
pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Um, he's saying I'm very behind. Am I really very behind, Eric? How far behind am I? I should probably actually watch the match too. I sing 4-3, so maybe we're just having. Are we updating? Are we still updating live here? Or
Yeah.
yeah, we are. Okay, there. It's just a second behind. If I'm very behind, Eric, it's just because you're ahead, man. You know, I think we lost a.
Shared it with you.
I think we lost a viewer because Andy's here live now. So now we don't have. We one less viewer online. Yeah,
What are we at? Did we get double
Down to
digits?
we had double digits at one point. Yeah.
But hey, these are cutting edge.
Hmm.
These folks on the stream are cutting edge people.
How cool would it be to eventually have this data feeding into fantasy pickleball, where like if Eric Onshen's hit a winner, I'm getting a point for that. Like that would be the ultimate the dream in it. I feel like
You could say that is the dream.
yeah,
And then you could say we will get there.
that'll be fun.
Yeah,
That'd be cool. But the problem is by then it's so imbalanced of who is playing. You almost have to do like a rotisserie style where you're just doing your total points over the course of the season. You can't do like actual matchups unless you're just picking like one player, one match. I want their fantasy points because like Columbus is playing 12 matches in the first 2 events in 10 days. They're playing almost half their season here in the next 10 days.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, Seth says, "Hey, I'm in fantasy pickleball." I mean, how could you not be? If you're watching pickleball, why not? Uh, Value says they need data like this for sports betting, like pickle props. I'm with you too. I've been toying around with like I played around with Duper using formulas to kind of do predictions and making a model to like who's going to make the playoffs. I did that last year. I don't really think their formula for Duper predicting matches is actually worth anything. I haven't really tested it. But I have also toyed around with the idea of getting some of Ben's data and trying to create some kind of
I'm
like
sure you could create a
prediction
model.
model.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun. I have some other fun ideas of like guessing game, like picking games you could do beyond fantasy pickleball. Like there used to be this thing called Streak for the Cash on ESPN, where you try to make as many correct picks in a row as you could.
Was that a body bag?
I wasn't even watching. I haven't watched any of this match.
Yeah, I think it was
Uh,
bagged.
Chatty Matty.
yeah,
Carson,
Chatty Pickles.
Carson, our scorer,
We've got
Carson.
Chatty Pickles going
She
full
said it was
force.
bagged.
6-5 at the end change for the Columbus Sliders, but like I want to do streak for the pickle, where I just put out like a bunch of props each day, and you can only have one, and like just however many in a row you pick correctly. So like it was always just really fun to try to like once you had a big streak going, you were only making like very selective picks, and once you messed up, you were just making as many picks as you could, and
Yeah,
it was a fun thing that they
I
eventually
trust
killed
you.
it, but it
If you
was
thought it was cool, I bet it's cool.
no, don't trust me. Yeah, seeing the lines. So go look at my Twitter too. I did my just randomly based on pure vibes. I did MLP 2025 championship futures. I did betting lines on who's going to win the title. And not real, not gambling advice either. Not that you can gamble. My lawyers told me to say it's not gambling advice. That was kind of a uh, fun little project I did.
Can somebody correct me? Are the Shock playing one game on Sunday?
The Shock play 2 games on
They're playing
Sunday.
2 games.
Shock play 2 games on Sunday, whereas Texas
So lame.
plays like 1 game every day, and Columbus
Yeah.
plays 6 matches this week and 6 matches next week. I mean, it's just.
Yeah, it's
I'm with you, Eric. How
Right.
cool would it be to have this data live? Like, so eventually, too, once we get the championship, first of all, MLP Austin will be.
by the way, I mean we've talked to all the pro tours. They know who we are.
Mhm.
We've had conversations and we've come close to doing pilots, and we're still working on it. We haven't given up on it.
Like, MLP Austin is going to be at the ranch, and we're building out those championship courts. And once those are built, like I think we're going to try to do at least some cadence of like kind of showcase matches, whether it's like local 5-0s to low end pros doing money balls, or getting like Colin and Deckel and Zane and other like local kind of more high end pros out there. Not quite like what they did at Tuesday Night Pickle at like at the Orchard, but something kind of like that. And I think having your stats and like me
Yeah.
just kind of streaming and casting those games would be a ton of fun.
I'm hoping we can color court like neon red and neon yellow or something
Mhm.
like that. Would be super cool.
Definitely. I'll pass that feedback along.
Pass it along to
All right, I'm actually going to watch the rest of this match instead of just
Hunter Burke.
rambling. We've got 8. Okay, I'm going to throw the ball for the dog first, and then I'm going to watch the rest of this match.
Could you be the ball thrower?
Yeah.
Kobe, where's your ball?
I couldn't find it.
I threw them all over. They're scattered throughout the yard,
I
I
can
think.
do it. I've got like 5 seconds between rallies. I can do that.
Hi, puppies.
Oh shit, Charlie.
Oh wow, nice cat. Come on, Tina.
The fact that they're doing this, hit the post, the dreaded hit the post,
Dreaded
HTP,
HTP.
HTP. And we've got a single snowman in Orlando.
Okay, I'm just gonna find the ball.
There's like 20 over there
The
somewhere.
yellow tennis balls are most favorable.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, maybe that's something I'll try for like. I'll kind of prioritize that project, building just like very rudimentary gambling lines, because like seeing if I could handicap games well would be kind of just a fun little thing,
Yeah.
you know, and just like I kind of hate how sports gambling has become such a big thing. Like you can't watch ESPN without like having gambling shoved down your throat, and part of me like hates that and thinks it sucks because like just. But also the reality of it is like that's just what people care about, and if it gets more eyes on the sport, like you need it,
Yeah.
Jeez,
Yeah, I mean,
this one's quick.
this is rally scoring or traditional scoring
Yeah.
for you, right? This is what happens.
We so like keep in mind like if this was side out scoring, like this match would be. If this was rally scoring. We've only done 25 total rallies. This game wouldn't even be close to over, and here in side out scoring, we're right up against it. If you could, and it's all because if you look at where is it?
Oh shoot! How long have it looked like
60% of rallies won by servers.
are they are the ranchers? The ranchers weren't stacking. Are they not stacking when she returns? Is that what happens? Because she's been on the right a few times.
I haven't been paying enough attention to,
Okay,
to say that.
well, anyway, we're gonna have to with some of the stuff we might have to adjust later. If
We'll just look at the. So yeah, when they stack or unstack it, it's really important for Ben and his team to remember who's
This is
on
why
the
we
side.
usually have 3 people.
We usually have 3 people scoring,
and
yeah.
we can communicate with each other.
So
a little
with the
tricky
stats we're going to show at the end of this match, we're going to want to look at just the team stats until they kind of get it sorted out. Yeah. So we'll just keep that in mind. I should probably not talk through match
Actually,
point.
no, I think we're good. I think she got it. She got the times that they didn't stack actually.
Man, just looking at our
Onson's
player impact
offense has
plus
been
flow.
paying off.
Yeah, Eric Onson's 5 unforced errors, and he's only turned that into 3 rally wins. So, like, if you're going to be aggressive, you need to get value out of it. And it's a bad proposition for him right now.
I think way more than HTP, the dreaded return
Mhm.
off the net. That's what I dread way more than HTP.
Eric says I need to mute you and put you in timeout for suggesting we have a neon court at MLP ATX. 5-10. Oh, that caught. That caught.
Yeah.
Hi, puppies.
Is that a drive? That was a third touch. Yeah, it was super awesome. That's why you aim corner.
Oh, we got a dog in the pool.
We gotta get some action shots.
Yeah, I'll get some. We'll get.
He's
You know,
already shaken over.
after this game, we'll do a deep dive of the stats, and then we'll get we'll get the dogs on camera. 7-10.
Oh, damn it.
This is Texas trying to do another comeback. You know, this is
They
in
can do
women's.
it.
They tried the big comeback, and
Maggie Raminzi was saying that she feels like, the leads are so secure in traditional scoring compared to rally, and this match is maybe indicating otherwise.
my dad's favorite point, like when I've talked to him about rally scoring and side up scoring, is like you can just tell how out of their element and uncomfortable they are when there's the freeze and rally scoring. Like players
Yeah.
like get really nervous. Like they
Yeah, that's
like,
part of it.
and like that's fun. Like that comes through, and you could tell these
Tina with
players
offense.
that you love. Anytime you
Let's
get
go.
some offense from Tina, you love to see that.
But yeah, I mean, I think you feel secure if it's one aspect. You feel secure in traditional scoring. If you're keeping them from getting to the kitchen, you feel like they can't even score a point. So you feel like you can take as long as you want to score.
Mhm.
But a lot of in these cases, they're solving that problem, and once they start getting to the kitchen line, then you're going to feel that pressure, just like you do anywhere. Yeah, I'm confident that
We've got it up to 8.
we're accurate on this
All right,
one.
sweet.
So
We've got data. We've got confidence in our data.
yeah, it's just
It is
Eric's being aggressive, but it's not working. He has his speed ups. He's won and lost
man,
3
and
of his
Tina's
speed
actually
ups.
initiating quite a bit of offense. I feel like we don't always see that from her.
Well, that's coming, I think, in a lot in those long dink rallies.
Yeah.
Check on the far right hand side and see when she's
Yeah.
speeding up. But
I'll do that later.
yeah, do it later. Fine.
Interesting. Yeah, it's both the women with the higher player impact scores here, as the men maybe trying to go for offense and having
not-
too many unforced errors to
Yep.
make it worth it. Whereas,
But the long term math over the
Yeah.
course of all the season, they need to play that way.
Yeah,
It's
for
just not
sure.
working right now.
it's like take everything with a grain of salt. Like if you see a player with a really high accuracy, they might have just been playing that right side role, just keeping the rally going, dinking. As there's a missed return, looked like a bad bounce.
That's a bad bounce.
Not even a big serve.
too
That's
bad.
The Vulcan.
the Vulcan bounce.
I've seen it, yeah, a lot. It's tough.
We play here in the backyard a lot with balls that Ben and Colin, or now just Colin, use. He's got a whole hopper of Vulcan balls. I'll just steal a few, but God, they're beat to hell and they're all wobbly.
They're round adjacent.
They are, yes, definitely
There's
round.
another
Ish.
speed up by Tina.
There we
She's
go.
getting behind Andre
So, like,
a lot.
That one's a good one to talk about because even though Eric gets the put away, he gets credit for forcing the error. It's Tina who initiated the speed up. So when we look at the speed ups and the firefight initiations, Tina's the one that gets the win on that, even though Eric actually gets like the credit on the player impact.
Eric gets
putting it
last
away.
shot one.
Yeah.
Firefight last shot one.
Oh, she tried to get out of the way and it dropped.
That was a stood up winner.
Just love coming back from being down.
I know, right?
All right. Bold prediction. Winner of this game wins the match.
It kind of feels, yeah, maybe. Because, I mean,
Although
even if Columbus wins it, maybe Texas can still force the
Columbus,
Dreambreaker, but
needs to win it more, I think,
Columbus are a better dream
than
breaker.
the Ranchers do.
yeah, but I give the men for the Ranchers the edge, but the women big edge. Like it's slight edge for the Ranchers men, but big edge for the women
100%.
of the sliders.
Paris, so
We got to get there first. 11-10-1. First of
hey.
2 potential match point opportunities. Ernie winner, Ongens. Love it.
Oh, wow.
That was slick too.
Wow.
The way you kind of like
Yeah,
Middle.
It was like a placement earning instead of a power earning, you know?
yeah, that was.
Oh, did he
Nice.
catch the line there? That was a football, wasn't it?
I didn't see.
I think they're challenging.
I thought his foot landed on the line there. I think that's what they called.
Oh, they're challenging it. Yeah, it was a foot fault.
It was definitely a foot fault on the replay there. Which does go down. That's an unforced error, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So that's just another
It's a speed up error, actually.
like
In
like
this case, it happens to be a speed up error
like
because of the location of the ball when it passed her.
like keep in mind.
That's an unfortunate way to end that one.
Yeah. It's just hey, 3 for 3 matches ending on reviews, or do they even review it?
I don't think they'll do that.
Weasel, what are you barking at, bud?
Right now, we're giving him the speed up winner. We'll see the Ernie speed up winner. We'll see what they say in the stats. Actually, I think we'll.
I mean, here it is right here. We're going to look at it.
Was it?
It looked it's the right foot on the landing, right foot landing, and it's the back heel.
Yeah, check out Spain.
No, he's not on the ground yet.
One more frame. One more frame.
He's
MLP.
clean. That's clean.
No, it's clearly on the line.
Yeah. Yeah, he's on the line.
He's on it.
All right. Well,
He's clean in the air.
this one, yeah.
That's
Wait, you should go back to the frame where he's hovering and stop the
All right,
count.
so it is game over then.
Stop the count.
The stats.
All right,
have
so
gone
let's
final.
do our stats. We've got final stats here for mixed doubles number 1, which went 12-10 in favor of the Columbus Sliders, which means they have secured at least 1 point. Texas will now have to win mixed 2 just to force the Dream Breaker. Eric Onshins did not see nearly as many balls as Tina did. He did have 6 unforced errors on only 63 touches, so
Mhm.
definitely not good there. Don't like to see that at all. Player impact was very negative for him as a result of that too. In fact, both men, as we talked about, tried to generate offense but had too many errors. And the women, as a result, are the only players with positive player impacts. Tina found a lot of success, speeding a few off the bounce too.
Yeah, yeah, I can tell you what how many. No,
Um,
Tina, let's go.
Looking at third shots and nothing too much there. We had one long rally that was 44 hits, but the average was 9.7, which is pretty close to average, honestly. Yeah, Texas just kind of got started too late. You know, they just needed a little bit more earlier, probably.
Mostly out of the air from Tina, but she did have one off the
No,
bounce
just the one
that
off
they
the
won,
bounce.
yeah.
Kitchen rival Columbus Sliders made it there 73% of the time to just 58% for Texas, so edged them there. However, Texas was slightly better in the kitchen rallies, just narrowly edging them out by 1. So, still, getting there on your serve, that's when you're going to win. That's when you're going to actually earn points. So, photo time.
More people are going to see the photo than are watching.
I know.
Sorry, y'all.
It's so true. Only 35 rallies that game, so significantly shorter, as 63% of the rallies were won by servers compared to what, like 45% in that first game that just took forever. So, much quicker one. Still, at the hour 40 mark, we still have one mixed doubles line to go, and hopefully
Yeah,
for Texas, a dream breaker to come.
I think kind of story of that match. I'm looking at if I'm overreacting to the data we got from that match, which is take that with a grain of salt, right? But I feel like Onsen's aggressive style is really good, but I think maybe he's more accustomed to a lower level opponent, so he's getting easier balls to attack. So with this higher level, he's got to learn probably to stay within himself a little bit more, or maybe he just needs to play through it and he'll start
Mhm.
connecting on those shots. Maybe they were just barely misses, just barely catching the tape. You'd have to go back and check it out to see, but
Yeah, so that's how we kind of take this data and craft it into insights. If there's anything else that y'all want to see on this, let me know. Otherwise, that'll probably do it for mix number 1, and we'll start getting ready for mix number 2. Yeah. And good opportunity to get some doggy time.
does the umbrella move easily or not?
The base, no, but I can spin it.
Yeah, if we can get a little more coverage for me, I just want to stay in the shade because this thing overheats with direct sunlight so easily. It's a point. Well, we got some clouds too. Oh, this is part of the problem too.
Oh
Anyway,
yeah, look at that. Want me to lower it so you can fix
are
that?
we on commercial now?
No,
Yeah, out this way.
that's as far
Probably
as it
already
goes.
out a lot. It's fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. That'll help. I fixed it a little bit. This is fun.
Yeah, I'm having fun with this. We'll see. I think it's kind of a good proof of concept that we can have fun and we could add some insights. I'd like to know what the experience had been for those of you who have tuned in. Let me know.
Yeah, let us know the
Like,
good and the bad.
is it like hard to follow along live with their stream with us talking and not synced up? I'm sure that kind of like takes away from it a little bit. But like, if you're having fun, let us know. Maybe try to like. I only tweeted about this like an hour before, so it's just kind of a proof of concept.
Am I
Something
talking too much? Is he
yeah,
talking too much?
I'm
Do you
sure
want to
I'm
hear more
talking too much.
barking?
I'm absolutely positive I'm talking too much.
Not enough basil.
Not enough basil. Yeah.
More miniature dachshund. I can bring you next time.
Maddie, can you text me the link to the stream?
Yeah.
Have it in YouTube, but it won't let me copy it.
It won't let. There's no share button.
I'll just put it in Maddie Pickles fan club
Oh,
group
we gotta
chat.
upgrade and move over to mixed doubles 2 here.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I already have it. I forgot you put it there.
Well, I hadn't yet. I don't think I just did. Mixed number 2, and we're getting ready to get started here. It looks like. We've got Alshon and Tuio Natoa, which I believe is the correct pronunciation. Tuio
I
Natoa.
would say Tuiana Toa. I think
Yeah.
that's what you said.
Versus
I
Leia
love
Jensen
that.
and
What a
Klinger.
great name.
It's very cool.
Tuiana Toa.
It's cool. Yeah. It's cool. I did have to like in all my files. I'm sure Tice, if you're still listening, and Ben, I don't know how you map your things, but I did have to go and like the naming conventions from all the different places I get data from is always just a pain to like get the.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I know I need to make player IDs or something, but I don't do it
Right.
enough to like actually have like that. So I used to do all the data for APP, all their standings and points, but I haven't really done that this year. Kind of sunsetted that, but it was fun. It was a fun opportunity doing that, and got to go on site a few times, and that was a lot of fun.
The stuff you come up with, the charts and your visualizations and things you think to track are super exciting. We always love seeing that.
All right, looks like we're about to get underway here with Edda on serve 002. Here we go.
Women heads up. Who's got the
Yeah,
advantage there?
that's right. We got Leia on the left, and there's a speed up error for CJ Klinger trying to generate again. The men trying to generate the offense. And doesn't always work.
As CJ's biggest fan, this is a hard game for me.
Yeah, Andy here. I don't know if y'all can even hear him, but he's a big CJ Klinger fan. He actually got CJ Klinger's autograph. You're the first person to ever ask for his autograph. His dad said, didn't he, or something?
So it's technically
Yeah.
who gifted the paddle to me.
Hey Ben, chat wants to know: can you give like a super high level, even if just your best guess, what percentage of balls like are being played by women in mixed versus men, and is it just kind of depend?
It kind of depends. We did this a long time ago from MLP Columbus,
That was like 2022.
2022. So think about the paddle technology then. There are a lot longer rallies, more dinking. It was 51% to the women.
Okay.
50.9% to the women, which is surprising.
Which is like,
I bet it's more than 50% to the men now.
I was gonna say, because like you see the men just being total ball hogs all the time, so you'd assume that they would be hitting more. But like when you get into those long dink rallies, more often than not, I feel like it is, especially if they're on opposite sides, both on the right. You just get those kind of cross court. Like you can see Edda just do those cross court dinks for days. I mean, not Edda, sorry, Tina for days.
Yeah,
Just cross court dinks, especially like Tina versus Georgia or someone like can really just grind out long dink rallies.
Wow, what a drive!
That is a clean winner. That was a nice shot.
Yep. Okay.
2-3 again. Like once you have players, once you have teams winning on their serve early, like this game's already kind of on a pretty fast pace. Now it's 3-3. Like that would pretty much almost be the exact same score if it was rally scoring versus just side out.
Yeah. Yeah, Alshon has lost 2 speed ups already. Early. Keep an eye on that. Oh my gosh. What a,
Show
I mean, that was like a bad drop, but it was placed. Oh, that was a mix up of as far as the hold or stack, I think. Klinger is on a heater right now.
Hmm.
Love it.
so sunglasses. Did we figure out why Leia's wearing the Huns jewelry?
I haven't heard. Oh, wow. Alshon did it to him now. That's fun. So we got a speed up winner there, so that'll improve his speed up stats.
Yeah, so we're getting one little bit of feedback, which I do appreciate from Tice. He says we're like almost 3 minutes behind what he's watching, and I think that it's just like we just have a delay. I'm watching on the app, which has a little bit of delay. Plus, there's some latency in the YouTube stream, so
Yeah,
hopefully it doesn't make it too
same with the picture.
too confusing or anything for y'all watching.
Yeah,
But
we are fully live on my
we're as
stream
live as
here.
we can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's good to know if we do this in the future. Just like is what it is. Man,
Finger.
Klinger. We just saw Klinger hit a winner, make it 5-3, right down the middle. So Texas got 3 points on their first serve, and now on Columbus's first serve, they've got 5. So we've only had one unscored rally. That was a side out. So like,
Yeah,
if this was rally scoring, the score would just be
would be about
slightly
the
higher.
same.
It would
Yeah,
be 6-3.
about the same. Yeah.
With the serve changing.
Yeah, but there was only so maybe a second one. Yeah, okay. Still, like
We have 11 rallies and it's 6-3, so there's two.
there have been 2 unscored rallies. Yeah.
How's the sun over there in that black shirt?
That's
And
great.
you can
The dream.
pull your
Yeah, I got a beanie.
your beanie down over your ears if you get chilly over there. It is sunny and 77, so oh yeah, interesting. So it's counters. Klinger is 3 for 3 on counters, which is saying something. I mean, usually you're going to have some resets. Nothing's getting reset. Nothing has been reset so far. If it's gotten started, it's getting finished so far, and early, very early returns. Yeah, Alshon targeting Klinger 3 times, and 3 times Klinger's won those. The last time it can be a little tricky, that last rally, because that third shot drive went to Sean, and sometimes that drive gets blocked back, and then the speed up's the fifth shot. But in that case, Alshon kind of attacked that fourth shot. Should we give him the speed up there and consider Klinger had the counter? But there's always borderline because Klinger was all poaching. But, oh, is that getting too hot?
No, I was just filming the dogs.
Oh, nice. I was talking to the tripod there. They still heard me. Sorry, it didn't really match what the camera was showing.
Match enough. Hobie, go jump in the pool.
And yeah,
All right, let's see if the end change proves fruitful.
There we go.
Nice trigger pull.
yes, sir. Yeah. So, by the way, if we're ahead in the stream, obviously you should be able to go back in your stream a little bit. If you're on a laptop, it's a lot easier than a mobile device, though. I admit that.
Yeah, on the mobile device, I can't even really get that to work.
Yeah, it's tough.
I think I could probably update the latency settings on the stream too, but
We'll work that
I don't know if I can.
next time. Yeah, I mean that's where it would be nice if we could have picture in picture with the actual match, but
Yeah, I think I would get shut down pretty quick. And they copyright. If I do videos, they've told me like several times, oh yeah, we put you on whitelisted. You could use our clips and stuff. Just make sure you share a pickleball.com link or pickleball central link. And like, I still like all my old videos keep getting demonetized and stuff. I'm like, I'm not making much money from this. Like, I've made like $150 in YouTube ad revenue over like 6 months, which is just god awful.
Are they just
Um,
demonetizing?
Yeah, they just get demonetized, and they're like they tell me that I'm fine to use them, but then they keep freaking.
what a
It's just like getting automatically. So they actually haven't added me on the list. Is what's happened. Um, but I only just recently was able to like start making money from them. So like all my old videos that actually did well, I never made money from, and now all my new videos that nobody watches, don't make any money on. But anyway, nobody cares about that. So we'll actually talk about the match. 5-6, 5-6-2 is what I'm currently seeing with Edda serving. For those of you at home who might be not synced up. And now we got a side out. We're seeing both men taking over 60% of all the touches right now. So kind of to the question we were discussing earlier, that's certainly worth noting. Looking at our player impact flow, it is CJ Klinger who is putting his stamp on this game right now. 7 rally wins to just 1 unforced error. 1 rally win every 6.6 shots. Leia Jansen, only 21 touches and no rally wins and only 1 unforced error though. So
she's holding down the fort.
she's not having to do much, but she's doing what she has to. Let's see if they can maybe try to get her involved. Maybe try to get CJ. Gosh, again, CJ just right down the middle though. They can't keep the ball away from him right now.
Did he grow since last season?
I don't know.
We got a challenge or something going on here. Yeah, it's kind of annoying when is that camera? The camera's good.
I think so.
It's kind of annoying when you're watching something and you're like, yeah, okay, now I know what they're going to be talking about next because this thing's happening. It's like,
Yeah.
anyway, but hey, cutting edge people don't mind that kind of stuff. You rock.
I think this feed is frozen on the stream.
Uh-oh.
Oh, our cameras. Yeah.
Can you hear us? Hello, hello. We'll probably get some comments if there's a problem.
Oh yeah, it's been frozen for a while.
It was before the dog content.
I know.
Is it maybe it overheated? Yeah.
I don't think so.
All right.
Ben's business.
Come on, man. I really want this. I need this thing to overheat.
I think we're back on video now. I just need to bring it back to like here.
Yeah. Your phone should look.
We're back with video. And it was funny whenever we were doing the live stream for the draft. Anytime anything happened, like my dad was watching, and he'd like text me in all caps, and like I'd get like the chat was that we actually had like people in chat, so it was just like you're behind. They missed 4 picks. Turn your volume on. I was like, I'm trying, man. I'm trying. But I think I've kind of figured out a little bit too with my streaming software and whatnot. So
yeah.
Yeah, let's see if Texas can turn this thing around. And man, ooh, CJ getting big with that little error there. Slide out 5-8-1 is what I'm about to see here. Yeah, guys are getting to a lot of the balls in this one. Which talking about pickleball, you can do like that's what she said almost like every sentence. Like memes always does post about Dave Fleming and his like unintentional innuendo, but I'm like, it's freaking pickleball. Like we're talking about balls,
Well, and now the hogs.
The hogs, yeah, come on. I mean, shit, even like the slider. I mean, I don't want to get too NSFW here, but like you can turn some of these names dirty. Squeeze. I mean, come on. Nice firefight.
Wow.
And we're back to dinking. Ernie Alshon. Wow, Leia with the pickup off the net. Oh my goodness. Flip it. Flip it. What a rally.
Solid.
Man,
What a rally.
You could say they're riding tall.
They are riding tall. Hashtag ride tall on that one. 6-8-2.
Wow. I thought for some reason Alshon hit that in the net. I fixed it.
God, Klinger's just like a freaking brick house.
Let's go.
Da-na-na-na.
Oh, poor girl.
Oh no.
Yeah. They cannot keep the ball away from CJ. He is so big in the middle. He's hit 69% of all the balls that have gone over to the Columbus Sliders, and he is 10 rally wins. I mean,
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he's not
He's
making
he is
any unforced errors. Yeah,
he is only one
yeah.
unforced error. Yeah, I
At the
mean,
very first rally.
yeah, it was the very first rally. No kidding. Look at his. I mean, just look at the player impact plus flow here. Like anytime you're over 4, like that's really good. And he's almost like up into 6 or 7. Like, yeah, he's just.
Especially when if you're, I mean, if you're like that and you're absorbing 70% of your team's hits, I
Hmm.
mean,
The
they
impact.
can't they
Yeah,
can't avoid him, and he's just not
there's a
scraping.
winner for Alshon. So like that doesn't show up as like an error or anything on the player impact plus for CJ. But like if we go down to the opportunity analysis,
That was an opportunity
that is
yielded.
an opportunity
Yeah,
that CJ just gave up,
that
and
was a
then.
speed up. Well, it was a speed
Mhm.
up. It was a off
Yeah.
speed up, but yeah, failed.
Hey, are you done? With balls?
And that's not a speed up because it got her at the places.
Wow, man, these rallies are great.
Dig.
Oh, gosh, CJ just making Etta
Wow,
look like a baby deer out there for a second, just kind of had her off balance and then goes right back to her.
that's interesting.
Dude, CJ is just stat padding. He's up to 8 on the player impact
That was a
plus.
speed up by Etta, but
Yeah.
it was a desperate, out of desperation, just trying to make the ball.
Hmm.
She actually sped it up, and he countered it because she was so out of position. So I don't have to
No, it's
commentary
helpful.
everything, but
Man, there's another error forced off of a CJ Klinger attack there.
and that was an overhead, so
That was an
it's
overhead.
not
So yes,
speed.
not speed up. Yeah, man.
There it is. They had to go behind him. The commentators were saying, and
Hmm.
they did. They
There
had
we
to go
go.
behind him.
Finally. So in the last game, remember we saw both men in the negative player impact with and this time, I mean, it's complete opposite. We've got
Pretty clean game.
just got not a whole lot of unforced errors, only 5 total in the entire match or in the total game compared to like I think Eric Onson's loan had like 10 last game. I
He
mean,
had a lot,
yeah,
yeah. But I mean, typically he makes a lot of those balls. So it's just incredible.
yeah.
They're playing what almost seems like wildly, but making it being accurate. Whereas when
Hmm.
I'm just trying to survive, and
Oh yeah,
I'm like, okay,
survival.
I'm gonna go for my safe serve this time. Hit it out.
Ty says elsewhere,
Oh my
Georgia is
goodness.
now 55-2 in the last 5 games. Tice, when did she give up a point? What did her streak get up to? Because she had won 42 straight. When did the 1 point get scored? Did she get like up to a 50-0 run? Man, match point now. We're looking at the sliders. And they called it out. Leia doesn't she look like she maybe thought it was in?
I'm glad they didn't challenge it. Although we've had all three end on a challenge.
Yeah, we could have gone 4 for 4 there.
All right, let's go. Got to be now or never.
I feel like you got to challenge it right away or just
Sliders are thinking
play.
about challenging it.
Yeah.
I think it's not a bad idea if they
But they're like waiting to see a replay on the stream, and then they're like, okay,
play.
now let's do it. It's
Probably.
like, just do it. You got to just do it right away or just play on. There we go.
Yep, got to the kitchen, firefight.
Yeah. 7-10-1.
We're on first serve, right?
Yes. Oh man, CJ, too good. They were trying to keep it alive. Needed just one more ball.
That's borderline. We're actually not going to call that a firefight because that hit her at the shins.
Hmm.
They're just trying to get to the kitchen line there.
Let's go.
Edda taking over. Woo. Edda looked like Christian Alshon in men's doubles there. Come and get aggressive from the right side. She
Sarah Ansbury said exactly what you said. Etta taking over. Yeah, definitely a firefight. That was nice.
What's up, Eric in the chat? How you doing? We've got
How many Erics are there?
we've got a different Eric in the chat. Eric with the C now. Eric, we're looking at some live stats of the Texas Rangers versus Columbus game. Coming down the wire here. I think we're probably a few minutes behind, so don't spoil us. But we're at 8-10-2 at a timeout right now, is what we're seeing on our stream. So, story of this match has just been in our player impact plus flow chart here, just CJ Klinger dominance. The man is taking 66% of all the balls. He has 13 rally
It's
winning
his
shots.
countering. It's countering like the firefights.
Yeah.
He's not starting a lot of stuff, and when he does, it's not.
Yeah, he's
isn't
not.
that
Just true. The
successful.
speed ups and the firefight initiations is
He's just
really.
waiting.
It's
He's
just.
like getting in the middle and saying attack.
I mean,
me.
he's plus 15% on counters, which is remarkable. Like even just being slightly negative is good on counters
Yes.
across the whole season. So
Yep.
being plus 15% in just a single game is just really good.
And then that makes them like, well, where do we put these speed ups? Not good.
All right, pair match points now for Columbus. 10
Right there is a great example. They don't want to hit to him. They don't want to drive it. Alshon doesn't want to drive at Klinger or do anything to Klinger, so he's trying to drop low enough that he doesn't attack it, and he makes the error. So that's almost like a psychological forced error there.
Ooh, Klinger tried to call game down the line. Just catches that neon orange. He was hoping for white, and he caught orange.
Big return.
That's big time.
And straight back to the.
There's a put away from Etta.
Alshon sped that up.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Tice says Alshon has not played super well this match, missing some easy volleys. You know what? When we're done, we'll take a look. Go ahead and tell me what you guys are seeing with your own eye test, and let's we'll put it to the test. What the data says afterwards. We'll kind of see if what we think we saw lines up with what the data tells us. It's always kind of a interesting exercise.
well, the narrative we think we saw usually veers across a few different stats, right?
For sure.
Which is why the stats need interpretation.
8-10-1, and we got some serious scoreboard pressure going now. Eric Boyer in the chat says process for collecting stats. We talked about this a little bit earlier. We'll talk about it a little bit later too, but Ben's got a whole team of scorers. They're all trained to kind of be able to do it consistently, especially decisions.
I'd say about a quarter of those who attempt to get certification actually achieve it. It's not like an easy thing to do, and we have a really high standard.
So that's yeah. Oh, drive into the net from Alshon.
Yep. But even that, he's trying to go tight to the net because he's like, I can't afford for this to be high, and so he's taking more risk, and that's why that's happening. Which that doesn't show up in the stats. That's interpretation.
9-10-2, big moments here. You got to salvage a point for your team. You got to win. You got to win this rally probably.
Got to win this.
Nice pickup from Etta, and we're at the kitchen, and the two-hand backhand roll just goes way wide.
Hold two now.
So that's back-to-back unforced errors, big moments for Alshon there.
But again, I do think Klinger's incredible play this match. It just makes you feel like you've got to be perfect to get it.
It's like, exactly. Because they can't keep the ball away from CJ, which kind of forces Christian to
right there
to push that one so wide, and there it is.
Another counter. Yeah.
All right, so
I mean, he just crushed the counter stats.
3 points for the Columbus Sliders, 0 for Texas.
Plus
that is 14%. A 3-1. That's a 3-1 win. That's final. So we'll take a look here in the stats, and then probably wrap this thing up in a few minutes. So let's do it. We'll also do a quick run through of, I guess, all the other matches too, if we want. But yeah, like we've kind of already talked about, that was just the CJ Klinger show. He took exactly 2/3 of all the balls that went over to his side of the net. He did have 8 total errors, but across 110 hits, that's still good for almost a 93% accuracy rate. Third shots were split pretty evenly between him and Leia, whereas Alshon was taking the vast majority of the thirds for Texas. And if we look over to the kitchen arrival percent, I mean, is that right? 18% for Columbus? That seems so low.
It is right, although I do think, well, look how many attempts did they even have?
Yeah, so...
Oh, it does not show that there. I don't think they had many attempts because a lot of them, they won before Leia got there. Leia just stayed back and
11 attempts.
Let CJ take over. So that's something we talked to Deckel about is like, Deckel's like, what? I got the kitchen all the time.
Yeah,
like, well,
but Anna was saying a setback or something, So, okay, take that with a grain of salt. Even though they weren't necessarily arriving at the kitchen, clearly they were having a lot of
get more
success.
detail on that.
I mean, if we just go down and look at their third shots, yeah, I mean, the accuracy at least speaks for itself. Texas was the better team in kitchen rallies. They won 7 of the 12 kitchen rallies. Those are the rallies where all 4 players made it. So again, of 41 rallies, only 12 times all 4 players made it to the kitchen. But again, the player impact plus flow tells it all. CJ Klinger absolutely dominated. Really couldn't keep the ball away from him, and he was just a wall. It was Alshon trying to speed it up, and
They only had 11 attempts to get the
Mhm.
kitchen. They got there twice.
but like
So
it's just CJ Klinger plus 14% on firefight counters. I mean, if we scroll up here too, you can see who was the more aggressive team. Texas Rangers starting firefights every 9 hits. Columbus starting a firefight every 33 hits. So they were just kind of playing defense and just sitting on it and waiting,
yeah,
ready to counter and just.
and they won 10. They won 10 rallies before
Mhm.
getting to the kitchen line. So
Yeah.
that's devastating.
That's remarkable. 10 rallies before
Yeah.
getting in the kitchen. That kind of
10 out of 21. So
Also, 8.05 hits per rally in this match. That is the lowest number we saw, I think. Yeah, it was 9.7 in the other match in men's doubles. Um, okay, this was 7.3, so that one was a little bit shorter.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? Anything else y'all want to dive into? If you want me to dive into any stats real quick before we call it, like let me know. Tell me what you want to look at. If you have any questions for Ben, any questions for me. I think this is a fun thing. I think if we get more people in here too, it'd be a lot of fun. Maybe try to clean up the presentation a little bit. I like Value's idea to maybe have a custom overlay that we could do this, where we could like have a spot for our little camera in the middle, and then have kind of stats around us. We can work on maybe
Yeah.
building out a template. That might be fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Cool.
so definitely think this was a fun idea, fun concept. Hopefully you enjoyed it. So I'll kind of chill
Yeah,
here for a few minutes.
Go to Real Clear Stats.
Yeah.
At Real Clear Stats on Instagram, and I'm gonna add this right now. This whole match to our
And I've got it in the video description here
link
as well.
tree at the top.
So thanks for tuning in, those of you who tuned in. And if you didn't tune in, screw you. No, I can't blame you. Yeah, fun times. I think I'm probably going to go and kill the stream now. So
Peace.
adios.
Thanks for watching.